I'm not your gossip girl, I'm the headline. Truth with a curve, baby, redefine. Welcome to the thirst trap. All the truth looks good in a tight wrap. We talk love, power, soul, and sin. Turn the world on, let the light in. Yeah, the thirst trap news. You'll drink it up, it's the real you. E43, Thirst Bro News, where every headline's a revelation.
Hey everybody, so sorry we're getting a late start. I wasn't going to do a show, but then decided to do one last minute because I have a special guest with me, came to visit me. My goddad is here and he's going to be talking survival prepping and just generally hanging out and just enjoying the show with me, because then we're going to react to videos after that. But first, welcome everybody. I see you guys. I'm going to start with my monologue. America, lean in real close tonight, because mama's got something to say that your government, your TV, and half the people you follow on Instagram would preferably prefer you never hear. This world is changing, and it's changing fast. Faster than the media reports, faster than your politicians can lie, and definitely faster than the average American is prepared for. And you know what? I'm tired of pretending that everything's fine, when we all know the air just feels different. The vibe feels different. The energy is ringing like a warning bell only the awakened can hear. So, welcome to tonight's show, where, yes, I show up looking cute, lashes on, hair laid, but don't get it twisted. This mouth is about to go off like a siren, as usual. Because before we dive into reacting to the chaos of the videos in the second half of the show, we have to start with something way more urgent. Survival. Actual survival. Oh yes, baby, we're going full prepper tonight, because prepping is no longer a crazy doomsday hobby. You don't need to be paranoid. You don't need to be a tinfoil hat philosopher. You just need to look around. When the grocery stores can't keep basics in stock, when the banking system glitches like a shady ex who didn't see your call, when politicians tell you everything's under control with the same face they use when they swear they've never met Epstein, honey, that's when you start buying canned food and water filters. Survival isn't fear-based. Nope, it's empowerment. It's sovereignty. It's saying, if the world goes sideways, my family will not. And let me be cute, but honest for a second. If the lights went out tomorrow, half of America would be dead before their phone hit 10% battery. People don't even know how to boil water without Googling it. They don't know how to store food. They don't know how to purify water. They don't know how to survive without DoorDash and vibes. So tonight in the first half of the show, we're talking about real life prepping, what you actually need. What's a waste of money? What no one tells you until it's too late. And the things you should be doing right now before the next unexpected crisis that somehow every politician expected. Because survival isn't just physical, it's psychological, it's emotional, and it's spiritual. If you can't stay calm in chaos, you become part of the chaos. But now, let's talk about the second half of tonight's show, the part where we dive into those videos you all love so much. And listen, you already know the videos we cover on this show are never just simple. They're never, oopsie daisy, look at what happened. No. They're always a window into the machinery behind the curtain, the propaganda, the hypocrisy, the quiet coordination that the public isn't meant to see. And you also know that this is where the fun starts. Because if there's one thing I do best, it's watching a video, catching every lie, every tell, every slip, every manipulative trick, and then dragging it into the light wearing heels and looking fabulous while doing it. So tonight, after we talk about prepping your home, your supplies, and your mindset, we're going to prep something even more important. Your discernment, your awareness, your spiritual radar. Because survival isn't just about storing food. It's about recognizing danger when it's dressed in a suit and smiling on camera. It's about seeing through the narratives, the edits, the agendas. It's about protecting your family, not just from disaster, but also from deception. The world is loud, it's chaotic, it's unstable, but you don't have to be. Prepared people are powerful people. Awake people are unmanipulable people. And informed people, they're impossible to control. So buckle up. Tonight, we're prepping the body and the mind, the pantry and the intuition, the home and the soul. So, first half, how to survive the storms that they're not warning you about. Second half, how to see through the storms they are creating. Either way, Mama's got you. Let's begin. Okay, let's see who's here. Oh, look, just in time. Backwater, you caught the end of my monologue. I have my goddad on today. Hi, Rob. Hi, DSR terrorists. What is username? Britt, King Kirk, Joe, Mike, the fuck devil 89. Dennis Queen, Clays, Chef Max, Teddy Bear. Cool. Hey, Jack. Did you know you were you won fan of the show last night, Jack? You have to DM me and send me your info or send it to producer Ryan. Ryan.Lopez86 on Instagram, Jack. Hey, Backwater. How you doing, baby? Hope you're doing good. Did you catch my monologue? We're prepping. We're talking about prepping. My goddad's just as he's way more. I didn't think I'd ever meet anyone in my life that was more based than me until 5 years ago when I met MJ, and he is literally sent to me by God, because God knew all this crazy shit was about to happen in my life that y'all know about. And I'm telling you, God's timing is perfect. It's divine. It is divine. And I was like, did I just meet my best friend, brother, uncle, dad? I'm so confused. What are you to me? And I knew it was something special. And then he started talking about prepping, and I was like, you're my dad. You're my fucking dad. Because that's literally, he is so much like my earthly father that if I could have waved a magic wand and taken all of the trauma out of my biological father, it would be MJ. That's how my MJ is how my dad was without the trauma. And now that my dad is in heaven, my dad doesn't have the trauma anymore. And it was so much clearer after my dad died that my dad sent him to me, because I could feel my dad's energy without the trauma. And it was a lot like MJ's. And I was just like, what? Did you send me, MJ? And then I just felt this warmness all over me, like he was hugging me. And I was like, I guess that's a yes. So, hey, Dawn, welcome. You missed my monologue. Don't worry, I'll read it at the end. But we are going to be doing prepping for the first half of the show, talking about not being an idiot by not prepping. I mean, if you don't prep by now, you really are behind. It's probably too late. It's too late. I don't know how you're going to catch up at this point, because so many of us are realizing that something is wrong and that we have no control. And when the shit pops off, the only thing you do have control over is what's in your home, who you're protecting, how you're going to protect them. And those are all decisions that you should make before it happens. Just like we decide the family plan for if there's a fire. You should plan for if a foreign country decides they're going to drop bombs on us, if our civilian grid collapses and everyone is at each other's throats and it's civil war, or biochemical. And you know what I realized? I realized I don't have anything for nuclear fallout. Nothing. It was so far out of my mind, because we literally grew up thinking no one would ever do that. No one wants to just use a nuke, because we know the ramifications of that. No one's no. Now that I'm 40, I have realized all of the powerful people are damn shit crazy. They're fucking insane. And if they decide to use the red button, they fucking will. Hey, Frankie. Nice to see you, honey. And Kingery, traditional Baba Jamaican. We are talking prepping. So now I'm going to introduce you guys to MJ. Say hi, MJ. You're on camera.
Hi, fan base. I'm MJ. Nice to meet everyone.
This man is... I will take a life for this man. So everyone needs to know that. He is part of the tribe. This is my spiritual father, my earthly father, orchestrated from heaven for me to have. Hey, Aunt Key, how are you? Or is it Aunt Nee? Aunt Nee? All right. So, MJ.
Take it away, huh?
My wonderful goddad. You
yeah,
want to
thank
tell
you.
my...
Thanks for the kind introduction. Hopefully I deserve it.
Of course you do.
Coincidentally, I just turned 40 again. So we have that in common. No, I jumped at the chance to talk about preps, and, you know, that's a big part of my area of interest and arguably expertise. So I would say...
How did you... Tell us how you got into prepping. Like, what was the... Because, like, none of us do that naturally. Like, one day we just go, I should probably buy some MREs. Like, what was the moment you realized, like, I should be smart and do this?
Well, I was a 70s kid, so inherent in that is some level of prepping, right? It's not like today.
Right.
No, I grew up hunting and fishing, and with an interest in, you know, individual rights. And, you know, you can't be in that mind space for long without realizing that there are a lot of forces, man-made and otherwise, that are interested in bringing the shit show.
Yeah.
And later in life, I went into finance, and I realized that all the things you mentioned, yeah, those are outside possibilities, but actually there's something far more likely and frankly imminent. And I believe that we're, you know, on the path to an economic reset being intentionally brought about by our friends, you know, gov.org.
Right, the committee of
org.gov. And, you know, globalist interests. And, you know, just to put it succinctly, you know, people hear about the fourth turning. We're in a poly crisis right now, and economically the debt is unrepayable. It's mathematical certainty. I won't get too wonky, but you know, we used to laugh. Go ahead.
Just so you know, my fan base, listener base, subscriber base, whatever you want to call them, they're more educated than I was prepared for the world to be.
I bet.
So you can definitely get as deep as you want to with this crowd, because they'll ask me if they want me to ask you a question, and they're kind of into this shit. So you can go wild.
We used to laugh at Portugal and Greece because of their debt to GDP ratio. That's where we are. We're that joke. So the U.S. is the brokest enterprise in human history.
Well, it kind of takes me back to our conversation when we first met when I was running for Congress, and you were volunteering on my campaign, and we were talking about fiat currency and the disaster we're in, and like the fact that we were paying our debts with our own like bonds, and just like double negative scenarios, and just going deeper and deeper into the hole of debt. And you really, with your finance background, just kind of like tied up a lot of mental loose ends for me when it came to like, why is our economy so, it's like always so crazy and nobody else seems to be like that? What is going on? And I had no idea how deep the rabbit hole was that our currency, when I was first running for Congress at the time, as a baby, just having a calling, I had no idea how deep the rabbit hole was on the fact that our currency is backed by nothing.
It's backed by the full faith and credit of the U.S., which is running out of faith and credit. And if you want to put it, again, succinctly, the U.S.'s biggest export, it isn't grain, it isn't machinery, it's the dollar itself. The U.S., as the world's reserve currency, has been flooding the world with dollars.
Right.
And The
Right.
world is de-dollarizing.
Yeah. A couple years ago, we saw, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, we saw Brazil move away from the dollar, and then it was just like ding, 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 ding. It was like 5 countries I can think of off the top of my head, but I don't know what happened with it after that in terms of, I guess, how everyone else views the worth of our money, other than what's mainstream out there. I know what's being talked about mainstream, but just before you answer that, Frank saying he grew up country boy. He goes, grew up country boy here, hunt, fish, spent 15 years doing construction, and now I'm a master mechanic. It's broken from small things to machinery I can fix, and I'm an avid collector. So he wanted to introduce himself to you. Frank and Vic, they're one of my regulars I see on here. And then he says of Freedom Seeds and their dispensers. Backwater says, always be prepared and train for scenarios that will happen and can happen. And Frank says, 40-year-old zone. Yeah, I think Backwater bringing up this part that you said, train for scenarios. That is something that MJ here has been really, really, like, I can tell you every week that I see this man every week almost. I think there's probably been 2 weeks this year I haven't seen him only. But it's always what he's doing. He's training. He's like doing judo, dojo, whatever, all the things. He's got every kind of weaponry. He bought me that Tokarev I've been telling y'all about for my birthday. That Tokarev that y'all saw me. That was him with me in the video. But anyway, please continue.
Yeah, I mean, it's an important point that combatives, I'm sorry, but they're part of being a male. And I feel like every free citizen has a duty to become combat effective, whether it's with weaponry, wherever you are. You could be in the UK, like learn a stick, learn not, hands-on, learn whatever proficiency that you can master.
Do you think our country should be one of the countries that does, like, as soon as you turn 18, you have to spend 2 years in the military?
Well, I'm a based libertarian, so I'm not really for compulsory service. I'd probably be more the one that resists it. I feel like the people are the militia, the entire able-bodied population. And so, I'll just...
Do you think it would give them the skills, though, to be that militia? Like, for example, Israel, like, even the women, they all have to learn Krav Maga, hand-to-hand combat, and all that shit. So it's like, pound for pound, just an average Israeli citizen against an average American citizen, who do you think would win?
It wouldn't hurt, but it doesn't instill fighting spirit. And if you looked at the average infantry, not infantrymen, but the average enlistee, I would say that you're dealing with lowest common denominator, weakest link theory.
Yeah.
I would like to see a greater interest in shooting and the other arts, but
Me
I wouldn't
too.
personally support compulsory military service.
So this is where my mind goes on the military service. It's like, on one hand, spiritually, like, if you subscribe to a denomination, how can you go shoot your brethren on the other side of the borders where you're fighting? Because truth be told, both sides believe they're the good guy, and both sides believe the other side's the bad guy. It's just the way it is. So, on one hand, it's like, okay, Christians killing Christians, not so great. I don't like that. And then on the other hand, it's like, yeah, but like, most of us here are overweight, stuck on our phones. Like, what is the incentive? And then the third point is like, what's going to bring us together as Americans, And it's like, I feel like I agree. Military service should be voluntary because it's that fighter spirit. Who is going to do that? We need people that want to be killers to do it, not people who don't want to be a killer. Like, because I was an ex-army wife, and he was not cut out for taking lives. And like, the way he came back was just, he was a husk of a human being. Whereas somebody else that I've known in my life, who's probably psychopathic, but isn't harmful as a person. He went off to the military and he, special forces and all that stuff. He's perfectly fine, So I feel like there's people that are cut out for that, and then there's people who aren't. And I feel like it could do really a lot of damage if you were to mandate it onto people who just aren't cut out to do things. Of course, there's other jobs in the military, but the one thing I have admired about all the military people is they have that like survival skills, and they know like all these medical things in like the drop of a hat. And
it doesn't hurt.
Right. There's like so many skills that all of our military people have that it's just kind of like I'm jealous of a little bit. You know what I mean? And it's just kind of makes you look at them and like, damn, they're badasses. But like you said, we all need to start creating a culture where we want to like, we choose to just arm ourselves. We don't necessarily have to subscribe to going into the military, but like you can go take martial arts, you could go take self-defense, you can go learn to shoot, you can go learn to be stabby, you can go learn all these different things. And we should have a culture that encourages that, not the culture we have now where every freaking anybody who's not Republican, there's some mess of the words for it now, there's so many words, anyone not Republican, center and left, they just talk so badly about violence of any sort. And I think that's super unhealthy. I think although they're the ones committing most of it, they want you to believe you should not be inclined to do such things. And I think that's toxic too.
Well, the largest armed force in the world is the American civilian population. And, Admiral Yamamoto, who attacked Pearl Harbor, said, "We'll never invade the U.S. because there would be a rifleman behind every blade of grass."
That's such a fact, yeah.
I like the Swiss, ideal that every male is armed and trained, and they do have some compulsory military service. But the operant expression is Switzerland doesn't have an army. Switzerland is an army. And I would just say one more thing, like my libertarian take on it is, war is when the government tells you who the enemy is. Revolution is when you figure it out for yourself.
What have we been talking about, folks, for the last 2 weeks? Revolution and waking up and figuring out this shit out. We've been talking about exactly what he just said. Frank says, like gangbangers, want to wear a color and kill problems and take lands, join the military. Yeah, fair point. Or people in prison. Like, people that get prison sentences, force them to join the military. Like, they could pay off their debt that way. Boy Scouts was a good start back in the 70s before the progressive woke infiltrated it. That's true. And there was a lot of pedophilia I found out, like, happening with the Boy Scouts of America, too. It's like, why is pedophilia the freaking thing that seems to be why all the stuff is happening everywhere? And when you really break down all of the things going on, it's always, when you get microscopic, it comes right back down to the pedophilic overlords that run the entire world. And they have been open about saying they want to reduce population. So we have to believe them when they say that. They're going to move towards another pandemic, possibly, or whatever. So what are you going to do? Like, what did we see when the pandemic happened with the grocery stores and everything? I mean, how long was everything off the shelves?
Yeah, to me, that was an op of some kind. And, it's the COVID biological attack or operation. But to me, that was a dry run. And, never let a crisis go to waste. I would say, a lot of, ironically, the masks went on, millions of people. But to me, that was the time when the masks came off. The lever pulls. A
lot of people woke up
in the background, including myself.
Me too. That was what made me run for Congress. Was first it was the George Floyd thing, and then right after that was COVID. And I was just, once COVID happened, I was like, enough is enough. Enough's enough. Because everyone just showed me no one's a fighter. All of you are compliant. All of you don't like to think for yourselves. You want to be spoon-fed. But onto the prepping thing. Right.
Well, this is, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, when COVID happened, I was in a position where I was like, oh, we're good. We're okay. Because I had been slowly stacking up canned goods, dry goods. Just, every time I was out, even if it was just one thing, 90 cents, 80 cents of a can of peas. Maybe that's all you have, even if you have to just do one thing. And then I bought a longbow, and it's a recurve, so that way it's for long distance. And I bought just, more stealth type items for weaponry. So I have, I don't have nearly enough ammo. You can never have enough ammo, but I don't have enough ammo.
Which, by the way, is money.
Yes. That my day job's been in the beauty industry, hair and skin. So I would save all the little hotel soaps, shampoos, body washes, the little toiletry packet with the ear things and the, creature comforts, salt. All of this is bargaining power.
Don't overlook barter,
right?
Because
yes.
I tell people this all the time. You can prep for free. The next time you go to the convenience store, grab handfuls of salt and sugar, all of those things in a grid down or a transport down situation. Those things are going to be cheap barter, and they'll be crucial.
Well, and you can use Venezuela because that's not so far in the past as an example. I mean, how long did it take before they were murdering each other for
that's right
toilet paper? I mean, it was like stupid shit they were murdering each other for. It did not take long. So I realized there are certain things that if you don't have money or gold or silver that you can definitely barter with, because think about it. A woman, maybe some guy's meeting you at the hill on his horse or his motorcycle, whatever. Y'all about to barter, do a little trade, this hilltop and that hilltop. I always picture Walking Dead. His wife has been complaining about her hair. She's gross. She hasn't showered in 6 months. Her kids are... if I showed him a little travel size shampoo bottle, what can we trade for this? He's going to want to take that to his wife.
Yeah.
Because in a doomsday scenario, that shampoo bottle is going to get him laid.
Because you mentioned metals, and I'm a metalhead. And this is something that I would first mention for prep is junk silver. So junk silver, federal silver, silver coins, 1964 and before. Everybody knows and can verify that those are 90% silver. And so in a situation where the ATM isn't producing, you can use a dime or a quarter of 90% silver, and everybody knows that that's real money.
So what else would be considered junk silver? Like, what would you look for? Like, grandma's actual silverware.
See, that's the thing. Then you get into, what's the content? Is it fake? If it's been stamped by the U.S. Mint in 1964 or before, it is verifiably, unfakeably metal and of a certain silver content. And
sterling silver is not pure silver.
It's not. It's an alloy, however, right? There are people that are investing by going to Goodwill and finding sterling silver because
it's got some silver.
The value is far exceeding what you'd pay at Goodwill. I wanted to bring this up because
please,
at the biological attack and all the next October 7th, all of that stuff, put that on the back burner. We're in the middle of a currency collapse, and they're doing it on purpose. The U.S. debt is unrepayable. As I said, it's mathematically verifiable. 38 trillion is the funded liability.
Makes me sick. It makes me have a pit in my stomach because that number was lower, believe it or not, when we first met. And it's just to see, it's like you imagine at the time, I'm like, how can it climb? How can it get any worse? How can we keep getting more in debt?
This is a snowball, and this year we are the interest on the debt is more than the defense budget. Mm-hmm. And so the point is that people say that the U.S. can't default. They are defaulting. We are defaulting right now. But instead of announcing it on a press conference, they're defaulting through the deflation of the currency. That's what Trump
tried to obviously help it slow down with the tariffs, which, how do you feel about the tariffs?
It's a novel way to address things. I mean, just to put
to me, it's like a Hail Mary.
To put it wouldn't have mattered who was elected president. The U.S. debt is unrepayable and a default is inevitable. It's mathematical. So this is why I say the metals, silver, gold, platinum. Silver right now is dirt cheap. I'm not selling, but silver is $60 an ounce. That's very close to what it was in 1980. There's no other commodity, coffee, socks, anything that is near the price in after inflation adjusted dollars of silver. It's been exploding up as people catch on that the dollar cash is trash. And so you're much more likely to run into a depression-like scenario. Like I would say it's a likelihood versus, the zombie apocalypse. And the prudent thing to do is, I would say silver, gold if you can afford it. And the last thing I'll mention is the mining stocks.
Frank said, oil, gas, and brass will always be powerful in a collapse.
The mining stocks, because it's cheaper to invest in the metal while it's still in the ground. And it's a little bit speculative, but instead of seeing a 2 to 4x increase in your investment, you could see a 5 to 10x increase. And the biggest thing is, it's unlike a dollar that you hold, it's not depreciating because it's tangible.
Right. You can. Yes,
that's solid prep.
Right.
It doesn't matter whether there's the hurricane or the supernova, whatever. This can save your ass and keep you from being on the street.
Well, and I think the key is it needs to be backed by something measurable, So it's just going back to what Frank said, oil, gas, and brass. It's just a catchphrase. I get, like a little phrase. I get it because you can weigh that. You can say this much. But anyway, moving on. Backwater says, I have 3 bug out bags ready, 2 in each vehicle and 1 in the house ready to go. I have created a bug out bag for everyone in my family. In fact, when Penelope ran away, she took her bug out. She took her bug out bag with her.
Strong endorsement.
It's like you didn't write off everything I said, kid. So, at least she took that.
Smart kid.
She took the Bible, which shocked me because she threw a temper tantrum every time I would take her to church.
She's your kid. She's a smart kid.
Which is why she threw a temper tantrum every time I took her to church. She's my kid. And she took the book I bought her of Hermetic Code. So that is one of the fundamental spiritual books you need to understand the spiritual world around you as interpreted by human beings, the Hermetic Code, because it really helps debunk works, decode and debunk things that are in the Bible and the Quran and the Torah, and it explains our relationship with the earth, because God made us from the earth. So what is our connection to there? So she took those with her in the bug out bag. And in the bug out bags, this is what I'm going to give you a little quick list of what's in my bug out bag, and you can see how it compares to yours.
Sure.
All right. So just going off the top of my head, what I can remember, I definitely have non-perishable things that can stay in there for freaking years, even if the expiration date says it's a year old. A mixture of things that can stay in there. Underwear, socks, change of clothes, travel shampoos, conditioners, travel toiletries, thermal blankets. I put compasses. I put a headlamp. I put lanterns. I put flashlights. I put rope. I put knives. I put hammers. I put screwdrivers, a Swiss knife in every bag. I put a flint fire starter. I put straw water filters. I put mask and the
NC 17
mask.
Yeah.
So you can catch the
particulate.
Yes, not the fucking cloth. I mean, I have the cloth ones in there just for whatever, but I have the ones that
it'll go submicron.
Yes,
on the particles.
That, and then I have a medical bag that's separate. So I have sutures. I have
tourniquet. Tourniquet's big.
Tampons.
Yeah.
Clotters. Maxi pads for soaking up a lot. Maxi pads, boys. Seriously, Go buy overnight thin maxi pads and put it in there. They hold 10 to 20 times their weight in liquid. So I have your standard medical kit, and then I have a military grade medical kit. And all of the bags are military bags, so you can pack a shit ton. And that's just what I can remember off the top of my head, because these bags are fucking packed.
Pretty good.
These bags are packed. And I have copies of all of our records. I have copies of every phone number that's important. I have coordinates to your house, to the 40 acres that we own.
Mm-hmm.
I have like literally maps drawn, like look at the power lines and follow this. Now, the only thing I need to include is a map of the United States and then a map of the tri-state area. So I still have to put those in. So what do you have in yours?
Yeah, you covered a lot of it. I would say it'd be shorter to
also have like my guns and weaponry and stuff.
To add some things. I will say the maps are important, and you'd be surprised how many people don't have a street and highway map. And
and I have radio, solar powered radio. I have a ham and a
ham
CB.
talkie.
I have CB ham and solar powered weather radio, regular radio. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would say a solar powered battery charger. That's not bad. Maybe just to round it out tactically, it wouldn't hurt to have a couple of smoke grenades, because if you don't have cover, you can at least create concealment with that.
I never thought of that.
You can withdraw from an ambush. Frankly, you could also assault a position.
That's like Assassin's Creed. Did you ever
play that? By chucking
some
some smoke in there.
He carried these 3 little balls, and you used them in this game when you were just getting overcome by the Knights Templar coming after you, and you would just literally just boom, like slam them. They were like these rocks, old days. I think they made them around the Civil War era.
Right.
They were like, they shattered, and you had to throw them against the ground really hard, and they'd like.
You can buy, military surplus, but you can just frankly go to Temu and buy military grade, or Alibaba, get those from China. You can also buy boating and yachting smoke grenades. I might throw some caltrops in there. So if you're not familiar with those, the Romans were using those to stop horses, but they're basically spikes that always.
I was gonna say, I'm not sure what that is, but I feel like I'm remembering that word from somewhere, and it feels spiky.
Instant minefield.
Yeah.
And so you can instantly turn ground into difficult or painful to traverse ground if you want to slow down pursuers.
I also have in mind a book that is, well, it's a paperback, but the edges are like metal. So it's a book that, I put it in the back of the bag, so it like if I get shot there, it's just like, so I put it in there. It's really thick, and it tells you how to survive every single weather scenario, war scenario, animal attack, human attack. It tells you like literally everything. So, and it has pictures illustrated, so you can if you, like, for example, it shows you how to make a lean-to. Like, I know how to make a lean-to, but it shows you how to make a lean-to without, you don't need an axe, you don't need a saw, just with the branches you can find on the ground, so things like that.
I'd probably have a collapsible bowl, and water is water's the big one, right? The rule of 3. You can live 3 days without water, 3 seconds without air, 3 weeks without food. I would, calories are important. So besides the canned food, if you can have a fishing kit, but frankly, a cast net. Give me a cast net over a fishing rod. I can go to any puddle, and I can have, instant calories.
Right.
Easy to get. So, frankly, if you're not willing to eat insects, you're not serious about surviving.
Right. Because I was going to say, landlocked people, like, we're not landlocked, we're in a peninsula, but landlocked people, they can eat bugs.
I yell at the screen at the survival shows because they're getting taken out on a stretcher, and there are calories all around them, but they won't eat the bugs.
Well, and bugs. I mean, and even it's like, things happen in life that you would never think. So like think about Helene, those people up in the mountains that ended up with no power for a long time. These survival skills come into play like with hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes. It doesn't have to just be some extreme scenario like war. I mean, we're all just like thinking about war because we're all jonesing for a fucking reset. But like, what about, hurricanes? So it's like, I look at scenarios like Katrina, and I remember those, Matthew, I remember all these scenarios where people died a lot faster than they thought because they just didn't think. Like you're just comfortable. You just didn't think a tornado was going to hit that bad. And my cousin was in Tuscaloosa, and when that F5 hit, and I mean, when an F5 hits, everything for miles is freaking gone. You have to bring stuff in from out of state and out of further away. And if you don't have in your bag 3 days worth of stuff, you're fucked, because people are not going to give you. They have families. They will fight you to steal yours when they run out. So beyond just having bullets, beyond just having what you can have in your bag, because you can only carry so much, you need to have the skills to problem solve based on the availability of resources your eyes can land on all around you. How are you going to create shelter when everything's torn apart? How are you going to, do you know how to even find water in a landlocked state?
They say that most people are 3 meals away from panic.
Yeah.
And, you do need to stockpile the things that are hard to create quickly, starch, carbohydrates. But I would also add some traps, some snares.
Someone just said solvent traps. What's that? Is that in the vein you're talking about? Solvent traps?
No, I'm thinking about like a snare that you could use to trap animals, because you're going to need fat. You're going to need protein. The fats are hard to get.
KB says as long as it's not spiders.
It's I was gonna say
like eating spiders.
On the insects, you know what? Make some worm jerky. Just put earthworms on a hot rock. It'll shrivel up into jerky. I guarantee.
It won't have a taste.
Yeah, I mean, it may not be teriyaki flavored, but you'll get it down fine.
Honestly, though, it probably isn't that bad because it's probably a miso flavor like mushrooms. Honestly, because they're like trash compactors. So are shrimp, and a solvent trap. Solvent traps are primarily used in firearm maintenance to catch dirty solvents. Oh, okay. You were talking about like what you had. Okay, gotcha. But yeah, going back to the worm thing. Yeah, worms, even if you can't cook it, those are easy to just swallow without chewing. Just fucking swallow. Grubs, just swallow. Don't even chew. Just get it down.
One of your best friends actually
I give him a hard him and I give each other a hard time over the bug things all the time because he knows
somebody won't eat bugs.
Yeah, I'm like so grossed out by bugs, like, and so he's always testing me when we're together, like, what, you need to eat bugs. Hey, I'm really afraid one day he's gonna put a bug down on a plate for me, like, just to prove to him that I can do it. I'm scared. Did you do that to me?
I'm gonna save your life. Okay, your best friend in a survival situation is the maggot.
Oh, I know. I have heard.
So during the Depression,
mealworms,
people would die of rabbit starvation because it was literally protein poisoning. The hard to get thing is the fat.
What is that?
So rabbit starvation is protein poisoning.
But
so
I'm not computing.
All they were doing was shooting rabbits with 22s and eating rabbit, and they're so lean.
Oh, like the carnivore diet.
There's not enough,
killing people.
Not enough fat for you to metabolize. And so the solution, they would hang the rabbit carcass and let the flies lay eggs, and the maggots would convert the protein into fat, and they would smear that onto a piece of bread and have plentiful fat. And as a bonus,
that's called what the Jews call schmaltz, the
is
fat from the meat.
Okay.
So my mom being from the islands, you save everything. I mean, she grew up in a jungle. They cooked on rocks, bathed in the river, like literally had no windows. Their house, they purely lived on the land like native form. My mom, she literally would use the fat. They'd use the fat for all kinds of things, but the fats. See, America got everyone believing that the animal fat's bad for you. That's actually the good kind of fat.
Yeah,
it's the vegetable fat that's bad for you.
That's right.
So those are the differences, and why vegans get super unhealthy and the carnivore people get really unhealthy, because they're still under that belief system with the fats. But the fats that you saved with all the seasonings after you just got done roasting your meat, it's got all the seasoning in it. And we still do it here in this house. We use it to flavor our rice, flavor our pasta if we have nothing on it. You could flavor your beans, flavor anything with it. And the Jews would take it cold and put it on crackers.
And the best part is when you're done with all those yummy maggots, eating them personally, you can hang that carcass over the water and those maggots will drop off and create a constant chum line. And then you're going to take your cast net and you're going to pick off all the fish that wind up waiting under there for the next maggot to drop.
You see why I got this guy around, y'all? This is why I got this guy
So I just
around.
saved your ass.
He does. He saves my ass all the time. He's the one I went to the batting cage with. That video. A couple comments. Let's get into the comments here. Backwater saying, yep, cast net is great. Got 5 of them.
Clutch.
Yeah. Jack said, I sell bait and tackle. Interesting in sponsoring my show. Are you the one that sells the Faraday bags, or is that someone else?
We're not going to get into the masturbator.
No, it's not you.
Title.
But Jack, if you sell bait and tackle, I would so be open to helping you sell it on my show. My profile, it's gone a little bit down in the last 30 days. It changes every 30 days, but I'm fluctuating between 910,000 views to 2 million views any day. So it goes like up and down like this. So if you're interested in sponsoring my show, Jack, I love, like, this is my vein, like all the tomboy stuff. Like, I'm that kind of girl. So that's why most of my audience is men, because I talk about this kind of shit. And women are so dependent on males for all of this. I've never understood that about women. Like, why don't you educate yourself? What if all the men fucking died? Like, what would you do? Why are you relying on daddy and brother and uncle so much? Like, what if they died? Like, women they don't think about this kind of stuff the way I do. And I find it to be kind of lonely. Because sometimes I miss female interaction, but it's like all the things I'm into, it's like guy stuff. So I'm just like surrounded by men, but it's fine. It's okay, because that's what keeps me tough, honestly.
I think you should go for DSO Targets as your next sponsor.
What is that?
DSO Targets.
Dick shots only?
When it's tactical training time, it's dick shots only.
You're the best. You're the best. So Jack, okay, conversation in the chat. Where can I get those long gray worms that can be found in redwood logs? Go to California, I guess, and go hard.
Yeah, no, I mean, to his point, it could be 40 below zero, and if you dig under the bark, if you dig into a rotten log, you're going to find those grubs with all the fat and calories. And so this is, again, why I'm yelling at the screen in the survival shows, because what they should bring is a hatchet and chop into every dead log, and they'll have love handles when they walk out of there.
That's funny. Frank says, I'm sure men see a pretty gal, click, and then realize you're cool as fuck and stick around. Ah,
Cool AF.
Thanks. Yep. Whereas chicks are too judgmental to hear out a face of competition of brains and looks. Yes, that is exactly. I got a few chicks that come through here, and they are super dope. I love my ladies that come through here because they're secure, and they're like me. They're like tomboys, and they just really want to hang around other chicks that they know will have their back, that can ride with them, And so it makes it kind of lonely for women, because not all women, well, not everyone's an alpha. So I guess what it is just that alphas hang around alphas. Well, I don't know. Alpha women, I guess, hang around alpha men. I don't know.
Yeah, but I will say for myself, I don't really care for masculine women. I still want the femininity.
Oh, I agree, because I don't feel I'm masculine.
No, but a lot of American women, let's face it.
They confuse the two.
They may wear their hair long, but they have masculine traits.
The fucking feminism needs to die, though, honestly. Like, I think that you will not be protected if you keep feminizing men and keep weakening men. Like, this is another thing. It's like women, for as tough as I am, at the end of the day, I'm tall as shit, My bones are light. I'm a petite, tall girl. I know that I need muscle around me. So I'm not about to fucking emasculate men. I'm not about to weaken men. I need them to be fucking strong because a woman only has so much fight in her. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I never got this whole like women can do everything a man can't. No, they can't. No, they can't. No, they can't.
The
They may
business
be able
model.
to think knowledge-wise, brain-wise, sure. Physicality, absolutely not. We fucking need men. What the hell? We had a dead duck laying at the front of the neighborhood for like 2 weeks. I'm like, this thing is stinking all the way to here. And it got on there, and I'm on the fucking neighborhood thing, and I'm like, any young strapping men want to go get the dead duck at the front of the neighborhood because it's gross? And this woman, fucking Karen, goes, why does it have to be a man? Literally, I was like, okay, be my guest. Why don't you go get the duck?
Well, it is Hunter. Go ahead. I'm
Wait.
sorry.
Wait. I was like, okay, go get the duck. Or are there any other ladies in this neighborhood that would like to go scoop the dead duck? I'll wait. She didn't want to go get the duck. The one who said, why has it got to be a man? Why can't a woman do it? Because every time you see roadkill on the side of the road, who's picking it up? A man. Because women just don't do certain things. So we fucking need men. And it's not a fucking slight on women to like be like, no, we need a man to come do this. Because no fucking woman wants to go scoop up a dead smashed animal.
I'm going to disagree with you in this narrow circumstance.
Of course you
the men are hunters and the women are gatherers.
No.
So I'm going to say that she should go effing gather the duck.
No, you can bring the duck to the kitchen counter.
Okay.
All the way to the kitchen counter.
She should pluck it
And that's fine.
defeather it.
She'll fucking
Yeah.
well, as long as you freaking gut it, I'll fucking depuck it.
Okay.
Actually, but I'm the wrong woman to ask because I kind of want to do the de-gutting because I want to make sure it's done right. I want to make sure my meat's going to taste good and I'm a control freak. But also, I just want to hurry up. And I'm just kind of one of those people that's been through so much trauma, I can just detach from any situation and just kind of get it done.
The power of detachment.
It was a horrible thing for me until you and I started really working like really deep on some like just deep character stuff. And you helped me realize like, okay, that helped you then. It's not helping you here in this area. Like detaching right here, you need to feel your feelings. You need to let yourself feel
Deal,
this.
heal.
Yeah.
And these are spiritual matters ultimately.
Right. And the other thing you said to me was, don't get over it too quickly, which you're the first person in my life that ever said that to me. Like everyone else is like,
We wish you
cowgirl
a long,
it up.
slow recovery.
Yeah, pick yourself up. And I'm like, was totally taken aback when you said, well, don't get over it too quickly. And you know, spiritually, even though I was in shock that you said it, I immediately knew why you said it.
You get it.
It was the first time I ever heard it, but I knew because God was using you to talk to me. And when God uses someone to talk to you, you understand them right away. And what you were saying was, so you don't forget and you don't fuck up again.
The shit is the fertilizer.
Right. You
No
don't
muck, no lotus.
Right. Let the hurt is okay because it's going to help you be stronger and be better, be faster, be smarter, be all these things. So don't get over it too quickly. Like if it hurts, let it hurt. Sit
It's
in it.
supposed to hurt.
Yeah,
And the adversity is our boot camp anyway. You know, it's spiritually and otherwise preparing us to be, I believe, to be of service.
I agree. And same thing with the prepping thing. It's you not everyone is if you're I look at it this way. I'm going to give it to you in a scenario like a good prepper. They're going to be careful about protecting their goods, but that does give service opportunity too, because not everyone knows how to do that. And you can teach someone how to fish. You can teach someone how to like do this. And you kind of become a beacon in your little neighborhood.
You become a lighthouse.
A lighthouse.
And, you know, they say that it's better to be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in the war. And I think people have an obligation, men and Americans, right? People who love the Constitution and their creator have an obligation to prepare themselves so they don't have to descend into being scum and bandits. You know,
Take us to church, Daddy-o.
That's in our control.
Yeah.
But if you don't prepare for that, then you'll turn into,
Right.
you know, that. And we're above that, you know. We're men of action. But it's an obligation to be that Minuteman, to be prepared to do violence if necessary, but
Take them to church, baby.
Protect and preserve.
Yes. I talk about that a lot on the show, and my viewers can attest to that. I really spend time at every opportunity I can showing women who may watch the show later on the post, when we post it later, like, this is what real men are. Like, men are not going to stand idly by. Men feel obligated to protect the weak and the helpless, and like anyone who runs from that obligation, like, interesting to look at, like, why and what is a man. And I really think that, being capable of violence shouldn't be something that should be vilified, because the arbiter for that is your self-control. So you understand when it's holy to participate in it and when it's wrong to participate in it, instead of being a coward and just not involving yourself in anything anywhere. It's just kind of like, well, where are the heroes? And if men don't remember that about themselves, we will continue to see a population of dysfunctional women who want to chop their tits off and become men,
That's right.
So I think men stepping up as dads, brothers, uncles, more so, we've kind of lost that. I think that would help curb a lot of this gender shit we have going on too.
There's a difference between a rabid dog and a dog with fleas. And we kind of have both in this country. And as I say, these are spiritual matters. And this is the great spiritual challenge, right? Like, to me, communists, are they exactly people? I don't know. There's part of me that feels like they belong in the wood chipper. At the same time, many are fooled.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I make a distinction between the communists and oligarchs at the top who are, with intent pulling the levers, and the many who are fooled. And but there are rabid dogs out there, and so we have to be prepared to to counter them, not always with physical violence. I'm a firm believer in financial and economic violence in the form of boycotts. Dump your government bonds, stop funding the people that hate you, and there are many ways to do that. But again, free men worldwide, right? You could be in South Africa listening to me. Your rights are God-given. They're not granted by, I don't care if you have the U.S. Bill of Rights. It's true. Exactly. Your rights come from God, and anyone who would deprive you of them is your mortal enemy. And you have a duty, I would argue, to resist them, starting with your shopping and investing. And, sky's the limit. If they cross the wrong red lines, heads on pikes. It's just
right.
Every situation is specific.
Exactly. Backwater says an army of sheep led by a lion is better than an army of lions led by a sheep. Jack says roads, buildings, electrical grid, internet, all infrastructure done by men. Frank says, my circle is so small, I almost kick myself out. I'd rather hit the plains alone looking for goods than a group of goons that can cough or fuck up the mission. Can't wait for the electrical grid to be fucked, KB says. And they're Frank said it's crazy how much will shit the bed when the collapse happens. So damn much. Good thing, KB says, good thing I have a large stock of cigars. Hey, I didn't think about that. Oh, God. Y'all know I've been trying to quit vaping. It's so hard. I've been going through so much stress. Let's look over here at Rumble. Reality Pocket says, my empathy is only outweighed by my desire to fuck somebody up that hurts my family or friends. That's just exactly what MJ was saying. Huh? What? Okay. So
yeah, I would just pick up on the first thing that was said, that a nation of sheep will be ruled by wolves. And of course, as far as our democracy is what? 2 wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner.
Yeah. That is like what he was saying about the whole like army of sheep led by a lion is better than Man, it's just kind of interesting. This is cool. Like the chat is super chatty tonight. They like this topic. He said, KB says, like tonight, I feel like a Trinidad #1 by what? WJ Fernandez. KB, you Trini? Did we discuss this already? Are you my brethren?
Did you just say Trini?
Yeah.
Wow.
A Trini? Are you my brethren from the Caribbean? I think we talked about that. We think we talked about that. Also, Jack, make sure you freaking message me to get you your signed copy of yesterday's show notes, because Data was like, no, I don't want to give my address out to anybody because I'm afraid you might stalk me. I love you, Data. I'm just teasing you over there. Okay, so
it's funny because Trini sounds a bit like tranny.
It does.
And in a future episode, I might come out as trans because my preferred load goes transonic at about 800 yards. You heard it here first.
Oh, you're so cute. You're so
Transonic.
Cute. Look, he expands my vocabulary. We expand each other's vocabulary. That's one thing I like about Mark so much, is that like he doesn't proceed to act like, oh, she's younger than me, you need to learn from me all the time and I could never learn from you. We have
I'm
such
42, remember?
Yeah, barely younger than me.
I think you're older than me by a few weeks.
Ew, meanie. You're getting that right up the butt when we go back to the batting cage. I'm gonna be like, can you stand a little to the left? Just a little more. Little more.
You handled yourself, too, I have to say.
Did I?
Yeah.
The first time I whacked that ball, I was not prepared for how much it hurt.
Yeah, cracked the bat.
Holy moly. I was like, we're going to do this for how long today? I didn't complain. Did I complain? I didn't complain.
No.
I was a good sport.
You know, there is over 40 baseball, and the people that say to me, why don't you play softball? I mean, I just have to keep my hands in my pockets.
KB, where in Trinidad are you from? My family's from Santa Cruz and Tunapuna. All right. So, no. All right. So, your setup at your house, like outdoors, what's that like? Your prepper setup. Well, I mean, don't say anything that's going to make anyone want to rob you. How about this? Wait. Let's start over. What would you suggest people do in a suburban neighborhood, in an HOA environment,
Thank you,
where they have to be subtle and low key? How would you go about prepping in that scenario?
Yeah, no, I can make concrete suggestions. First of all, get some rain.
No, you can't.
Don't be stupid. Get some rain barrels.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you don't have to have gutters to have producing rain barrels. You need starch under your feet. So if you're in any of the warmer climes, Dioscorea alata, the winged yam, these yams go, the record is 100 pounds per yam, but these yams will go 25 to 50 pounds with no care. The vine goes 60 feet long and produces edible air potatoes. You can have 1,000 pounds of carbohydrates under your feet. And if things get weird, snip the vines, and they're invisible. There's your pantry, and you can guerrilla garden with those air potatoes. Go plant them in the preserve near you, and you'll have thousands of pounds of. You can have calorie production in a suburban yard that would blow people's minds.
Also, kudzu. Now listen,
Kudzu.
Don't move it to your area if it's not native to your area, because you will be in a hell of a lot of trouble with the Department of Agriculture, because kudzu is, what's the word?
Delicious and mega productive in terms of
it will grow
calories.
on concrete. It grows on rocks. It will grow on anything. It clings, and it just literally gets its water from what falls on it. So like, it doesn't have to
zero care.
It's zero care, and it is prolific. So, but kudzu you can eat. You should definitely, in your area, in your tri-state area, become very familiar with the natural vegetation. For example,
Jerusalem's artichoke too. That's another one.
the cattail plant, that brown reed with the fuzzy round brown thing
The
on the
shoots
tip.
and roots and
You can
bamboo
eat that. You can eat there's different things. Echinacea. There's so many things that grow that you can eat. You just need to learn how to spot it. I mean, pine needles. Do you know how effective pine needles are to stopping colds because your body doesn't get it from pine needles?
Yeah, the vitamin C
but
is off the charts.
It's off the charts. And also, every
pine nuts.
organism, the vitamin C is not, it's okay, in raw form, the vitamin C is vitamin C. But the way the plants use it, the enzymes and everything, there's like a whole balance to every organism that has a vitamin C in it. As to why one is more effective than the other. So, for example, like an orange's vitamin C is more powerful than like a pineapple. The pine needle, the pine tree, is literally so tasty. There are so many recipes I found from the Great Depression, from 1950s and before.
The pollen
were common to use during Christmas because the pine needle gives such a great flavor.
But in terms of calories too.
But did you know that? I had no idea.
Oh, sure, 100%. There's your vitamin C, because scurvy is real.
Scurvy, and I actually see scurvy in my clients around here in their hair because we're subtropical, so there's a climate difference. You're gonna sweat out a lot more nutrients and vitamin C, scurvy. There's a reason why pirates are known for the scurvy thing, because in the subtropical and tropical climates, you will lose your vitamin C, salt, and potassium really quickly. I did not know vitamin C was part of that mix. So if you're close to the equator within a certain distance, you're going to deplete vitamin C much quicker.
With the pine tree, not only are there pine nuts in those pine cones, and that's real, not only is the pollen edible.
My dogs would eat the pine cones. They were getting the pine nuts out. They would literally tear them apart and eat the pine nuts.
But the biggest source of nutrition, I would say, is the cambium. The inner bark of the pine tree and many other tree species. The Algonquin Indians that means bark eater in their language. And during the winter, they would strip sheaths of cambium from the trees and use that to sustain themselves. So, just like the first survival manuals in the military came when the pilots were parachuting onto Pacific Islands and they would find them starved to death right nearby edible wilds. And so they said, we need to start educating people. There are wild edibles all around you.
There really are. And honestly, one thing my grandfather taught me, I wish you could have met him. Golly, we were just talking about that before the show.
Mm-hmm.
He taught me something so invaluable. For as cold-hearted as a man he was, he really wasn't. He told me, he said, just watch the animals. Watch them. If you're in a scenario where you're alone, we're talking about this type of thing.
Yep.
Watch the animals, the other mammals, and follow them. Do what they do. Do what they do. They know where the shelter is. They know where the food is. They know where the predators are. And they know where the water is. So conceal yourself. Don't let them know you're watching them.
Read a newspaper so they don't know they're being followed.
Right. Don't be obvious. They don't need to know you're watching them. Yeah. But follow them. The rats, the squirrels, the prey animals, they're going to know the safest places to rest, to eat and drink.
100%.
And the predators, you might want to befriend a couple. I'll probably, in a doomsday scenario, I'll probably befriend a black bear. I know how to do it. I'll probably definitely get a black bear in our camp.
And back to the trapping.
Just go kidnap a cub, raise it up, and make sure he's cool with just your people. So if you have any fucking intruders, the dogs go down, you got a fucking bear.
That's a big investment for something that's going to constantly
fucking
break
900
into your
pounds
food
of
stocks.
food a month,
Right.
It's whatever. I mean, at this point, it's with the horses, I'd be like, listen, I'm going to have to take you on a leash and meet all the horses so you don't eat the horses.
The trapping is big, though, and most people overlook that. But trapping is hunting without you having to be out there shivering.
Bye! KB just said never tried a rat, but I bet they taste like a snitch.
Probably tastes like a rabbit.
He said they probably taste like a
which
snitch.
we were going to talk about the animal husbandry and how rabbits will give you the greatest meat production per, calorie, and they'll eat grass, etc. So you can set up a rabbit pen in your yard and have an ongoing, wealth of protein.
If you can befriend a raccoon, it will bring you food. Cats will bring you food.
Crows
will bring you food. I mean, animal life, like, this is why, at first I got a lot of hate for being, there's no such thing as a Christian witch. Because, like, they didn't understand, like, witch is just a derogatory word. I'm a Christian Wiccan. What that means is the basis of my belief system is based off nature, because that is what God created us off of, Mother Earth. He created us out of her. And the specifier is the Christian part, meaning that is my deity because he lived the human experience. So being Wiccan means I have a symbiotic relationship with the earth and me, and I connect to God that way. Just like when Genesis, when the Bible said that Adam would walk with God during the breezy part of the day. So in the garden during the breezy part of the day. So there was a connection there of walking in the garden, feeling the air, feeling, the nature. And that's when he would talk to God. And it always stuck out to me. And as a kid, and I didn't realize till I was older, it's because that's how I hear God. And so when I think of, like, following the animals to keep you safe and gain wisdom, like, that's God, and that's one of the spiritual ways you can prep, is like understanding the earth and the world, not the world, the earth. World is society, earth is the planet, the rock that you live on, and understanding, like, the ecosystem. And, like, have you ever I pose it to my listeners, if you haven't done this, I challenge you to take a day, find a nature reserve, preserve, anywhere off grid, and go sit in camo, spray the stuff on you that keeps your scent off, leave your phone in your car. Don't take your phone because you cannot have GPS. Take note of your path into nature so you can find your way back out. Let yourself find a spot that you can nestle in unnoticed, camouflaged in with the background, and just be still for a few hours. And do that at least once a month. Because if you can go be still and unseen in nature with the animals, you will learn everything you need to know about what you are fucking made of. Because nature will fucking tell you right then and there when you are blended in, totally still, totally quiet, asking her to let you blend in and become one with her. What comes to you, be it thought, be it emotion, be it sight, be it smell, and be it sound, will be the answers you need to know on what you can do if you are caught alone in the world in a survival situation and everyone is gone.
There's another word for that. It's called scouting.
Yeah.
And I strongly recommend that you take a walk, take your bike, walk.
Thank you, Frank.
And ride your area, your local geography. Look for the power line cuts. Look for the nature preserves. Notice the animal holes. You're going to get much more information before the bell rings than after the bell rings. And I will say one other little one other pro tip. An animal burrow is not a bad place to cache supplies because they're hiding in plain sight. For sure. And most people don't want to stick their hand in there.
Well, as I was going to say, is as long as you're willing to stick your hand in there, like, study the burrow first, see what's in there, or mimic one,
No, if you drop a can in there, they're not going to get it open, and it's,
Yeah.
But
stashing is something I did growing up. So I grew up in the hills, the Appalachia, and I'm telling you, me and my brother stashed so much shit in those woods, and I would love to go back and see if it's still there, just to see, because no one's suspecting anything in the ground, nobody. And we I should probably do that. I should probably actually drive to Georgia and do a live and show everyone the house I fucking grew up in. There's vines growing inside the house. It's so just
That's pretty rural.
Yeah, it's such an experience. And Frank said this channel is good. Such a real place. I guess it's one of his first times in. I've seen him in here before, but I think only one other time. Doesn't have the forced, shitty, curated feel. Thanks,
We can
Frank.
arrange that, though.
No. Thanks, Frank. See, Frank says, I'm freaking shocked these late night shows aren't slammed with bots and shit talkers. We get the trolls in here. But I have such a great listener base. They really do such a great job of like sussing the trolls out and chasing them out. But I'll tell you, the Israel supporters, every time I start talking about Israel, weird shit starts happening on my chat, starts happening in my show. My feed gets crazy. It gets laggy. People come in and start talking shit. But haven't had any bots. The day that my feed gets flooded with bots, you know I made it, and I'm fucking exposing something that really fucking needs to be exposed.
It's just another country that starts with I, after all. Iceland, Ireland, Israel, whatever. Nothing against Israel, but whatever.
KB
it's just
says-
another, yeah.
KB says, got me slobbering. Do you need a tissue? Do you need a napkin?
I will say
do you need me to come give you a wipey wipe?
I will say that the Israelis made a good assault rifle, the Galil. Still have a soft spot in my heart for that.
No, so look, this is the thing, and I don't want to be misread. Like, there's actually a lot about Israeli culture
The
that
women,
I think is super dope.
women are hot.
Oh, the
There.
women are, yeah.
Let's
Well,
face it.
after the nose job. The rite of passage. They all get a fucking nose job. The Jewish princess, like, it's a whole joke. Like, my husband's from South Florida,
Is
so
that-
he like educated me on the whole like Jubin thing, because like being half Cuban, half Jew is a thing. So
Interesting.
there's like the Jubin down in Miami, and like there's like these bows where like you entered like Jewish town, because like they put these like bows up, and like like the whole town's freaking Jewish, and like there's just like this whole thing. All the daughters are spoiled. They all get a nose job at a certain age, like a bar mitzvah thing, but for the girls, it's like this whole thing. And yeah, so that's
Is
what I
that
mean.
New York or Israel, though? Because I feel like in Israel, you have sort of the Hasidic Jews who are more Middle Eastern. Are they still needing the rhinoplasty
I'm sure this is like a heavy an American thing.
and the bolt-ons?
Like,
I
I'm
think
sure-
that's more a New York thing.
Yeah, also the Japs. Also, you got
Nothing
me
against
saying bad
bolt-ons.
words. Japs, Jewish American princess. This is like a Miami, Manhattan, like
Correct.
it's like it's.
But we're
very-
talking about Israel,
no,
right?
yeah, but I had to make the joke because you said the women were hot, so I had to be like, well, yeah, after the nose job,
That's right.
Yeah.
But
Like-
Gal Gadot, I don't know. You think she had
Absolutely.
job and bolt-ons?
You can tell. You can tell.
Okay.
You can tell. Also, she's not full Israeli. You can tell all that too. Like, you can see she's not totally. Like, I think she's like Polish, but yeah, I do. I think she's. I'm not talking about her nationality. I'm talking
Do you
about her ethnicity.
Do you think she has any American in her?
No, I think she's
Do you think
the Ashkenazi or something.
He knows where I'm going.
I know what you're saying. I'm trying to
No.
move past it because I have all men on
You
here.
have to
and
let
you're
me
gonna get them all
deliver the.
going.
You have to let me deliver the punchline. Do you think she
Look,
likes some
Dad.
American in her? But anyway,
So I need to get you a hotel room. If you meet Gal Gadot, I will do my best to make sure she can figure out what it's like to have some American in her.
Yep.
I will be like, please, I need you to like do this for me.
yeah, I just need a strong referral from you. You know, something like that. That'd probably do it. She's the best wingman.
Dude, but like honestly though, I feel bad for him because like right now the pickings are like horrible.
Yeah, what do you think I'm doing here? I'm just hound dogging on your.
Boys, I need you
Channel.
to find my pops a girl. A nice
No, I'm all right.
conservative girl. Okay, he said no.
But if there are women in the chat, you know, hit me up.
Got me. He got me.
Hit me up.
Yes. Yes.
No,
yes.
it is tough out there. And what is it? 40. How many of the women, they're cultural Marxists? How How many of them, you know?
You are a catch, though. Like, you really are.
No, it's
I'm
true.
so protective over you, though.
Yeah.
It's like you say I'm a good wingman, but it's like, am I? Because, well, I guess I am, because I'm trust. I would drop kick fucking trash for you.
I need one of those awfuls, the angry white female urban liberals. Not really. I don't know, maybe for an evening.
At the end of the day, women are looking for financial stability, intellectual, you got something going on up there, masculinity,
Chad.
And
let's face it, they're looking for 6 foot and taller,
no,
6 figures and
no,
higher.
that's nice. I mean, but no one's ever gonna get
Pretty boy
the
or bad
6'6",
boy?
the 5'6" all in
Bad boy or pretty boy?
bad.
No, I'm saying like that's kind of that's the short list.
But if I'm
And then
picking
after-
between
okay.
bad boy and pretty boy, it's gonna be bad boy.
Well, clearly.
It's gonna be bad boy.
Oh,
Pretty boy,
clearly.
you know what I'm saying? It's like, but if you could have a bad pretty boy, it's like perfect.
That's right.
But I don't like them too pretty, because if they're too pretty, that's the thing. It's like, you can't protect me.
Too
You're
much optionality.
Yeah, well, no, it's not that.
That guy's ghosting you.
Well,
and
they
in
do like
about
to act
3
like they're
chats.
God's gift to women, and I need to be number one, not you. But it's really, if they're too pretty, it's like, you can't protect me. You're too concerned with being beautiful. Like, it's not an alpha man thing that hits my brain. I'm not thinking about it on the front of my brain, but like the nature brain of me is I'm not looking for a 10. I'm looking for like a 7.
Well, we could have the Sigma conversation too, because it doesn't necessarily have to be alpha beta. The Sigma splits the difference nicely, ladies.
I always thought I was a Sigma, and everyone's like, no, you're an alpha. I think when the depths of me is Sigma, because like I really don't want to be bothered. But the alpha me always ends up coming into play in reality, because it's like no one fucking steps up. No one steps up. And so I'm not begging I'm not going, hey, I'm your leader. It's not me. I'm not going, I'm the leader. But if no one's going to freaking do it, I'm going to be like, shut the fuck up, sit down, move. I'm going to fix this.
If you broke it down into military roles, I think the alpha man clearly is the non-commissioned officer. The beta is maybe the cook or the latrine scrubber, and the Sigma would be the sniper.
The alpha is the sergeant in the platoon getting bloody, leading the
non-commissioned
squad.
officer. That's right.
That's the alpha.
Yep.
The ones in the office, they may have
Supply clerk.
some, like, if they're older and like, okay, if you graduated West Point, I'm not going to have any respect for you in terms of like cutting your teeth, earning your stripes. You just educated your way into being high rank. Now there's something to be said for like the guy, like the I don't know, it's the real alpha is the guy that's leading the squad.
Yeah.
You know, he's in the fight with them, in my opinion, as a woman. You know, because I'm not a man, so I can't really proceed to break down man science like I would like to. But in terms of like a female's eyes, like, yeah, there's the officer. He's got the mental, like the wisdom. I want him to be older. I want to see gray hair in an officer, in a leader, in a whatever. But a lower ranked leader, like on the field in the dirt, yeah, that guy that's like handling the pressure under fire and like stepping up and helping everyone figure out what the fuck to do and while bullets are flying, that's the guy that's going to get laid.
Yeah, you could always get into who's the most dangerous
right
person on the battlefield.
Right.
And
but that's the younger me talking. 40-year-old me is like, do I really want to wrangle a Bronco? Or would I prefer the man with gray hair who's calmed down now, who's already been down that path and learned exactly how to get through everything easier, who's in control of himself, who doesn't pop off so quickly? Because there's a trade-off. Like the guy in the fire that's leading the squad, there's a trade-off. Like that experience with a husband is going to be different. He's going to be harder to handle.
right.
Whereas the colonel who has already past, he doesn't have to be in the dirt anymore, he is leading everything, he's at the desk stage, like you're valuing his sapio skills.
Yeah.
And as an older woman, I don't need as much physicality if I'm smart. Like smarts help you reduce the demand on you physically. So it's kind of like, what do you want to deal with?
There's always a trade-off, and define prefer, right? Like, if I'm a guy, then, which I am, there's certainly the instinct to have a stripper girlfriend and a Corvette.
Yeah.
And then there's the intellect and the mind, and you want somebody loyal, somebody that isn't going to undermine you, these sorts of things. And so this is where the wife versus girlfriend paradigm comes, and plenty of men have a wife girlfriend problem where they don't want them in the same room at the same time.
Oh yeah, there's that too.
And both answering biological imperatives.
Oh my gosh, he said my hands just did 6'7". Don't even Alpha Gen Amy 6'7". Stop. No, I didn't. I did not. Do not. No Gen A shit. Yeah. No.
6 of 1.
I was like, well, because there's this Gen A thing going around where they're doing like 6, 7, and now it like turned into someone did this 6, 7, and now it's a thing where everyone goes 6, 7, 6, 7 when they want to be like so. Remember how when we were growing up we went so
right?
So
meh.
That's 6, 7 now. 6, 7, 6, 7. Oh gosh, I had to have my 12-year-old explain to me what this 6, 7 is, and I'm just like, I can't. I am more separated from my 12-year-olds speak than my 19-year-olds speak. Like, I understand my Gen Zer better than I understand my Gen Ayer, but my Gen Ayer is better at explaining her Gen Ayerness than my Gen Zer was ever even letting me in. And Gen Zers are fucked in the head. They are so fucked in the head. We need a freaking revival for them. They're so fucking trash. That was the COVID group when they were in middle school. That was the group of kids who was in middle school during COVID.
But all of those younger generations are the ones who were intentionally screwed by the permanent political ruling class, the overspenders, spending their children and grandchildren's inheritance and destroying their prosperity.
And that's how I ended up on the show. Because I'm like, not another mother is going to feel what I have felt. I am not going to let it happen. I know it's going to happen, but my point is, it's like, if what I say can keep one other mother from suffering this devastation of losing a child to the woke mind virus and the woke industrial complex, then I will be here till the day I die if it saves one child. You
don't make peace with evil, you destroy it.
Right, exactly. Well, let's get on to the next part of the show, folks. This is the part of the show where we have fun. This is the part where we
Wait, it wasn't fun?
Well, no, of course it was fun. But this is the part, this is like, okay, JP, you have a good night. It was good to hang out with you. KB says, got my brother-in-law's kid at my house and I see it all the time. Yeah, dude. Like, it was like when we were growing up too. So I try to remember, like not to be too weird with the kids, but seeing as how our whole entire climate, it seems to be run by pedophiles, I'm just a different person now. So I'm suspicious of everything that our kids have access to, because it's very clear to me that our fucking government wants to enable pedophilia. And that's really what fucking the whole goddamn thing is about. It's just this is something that I cannot not talk about as somebody who is a survivor of child sexual exploitation, and knowing the lifelong battle I have, the gravity of it, the struggle every day that I have to feel worth something, to feel that I should have an opinion, to feel that I'm not thrown away by everyone who can put eyes on me, that like the struggle is fucking real for kids that go through that. And it is literally a life of torture. I'm going to start crying. It is the most wicked thing on the planet. It is the most wicked thing that exists on the motherfucking planet. It is worse than killing a child. It's worse. Because what it fucking does to you, mentally and emotionally, I'd rather be dead. But fortunately, I've gotten to a point where I could recover enough to realize that my thinking just got out of proportion. Because of course it did, because I was in an unsafe environment. So now I can't let a show go without addressing the machine. It may not be about pedophilia. It may not be about something as extreme as that, but every day I have to get on here and I have to talk about how to break the machine. We have to break the machine because it's soul sucking. It is literally one of those plows you see on a field that like has that wheel that like pulls up all the seeds out of the wheat field. That thing, that big giant plow, machine operated. That's what it's doing. It's just gathering souls.
And it's literally within our power to destroy it 100%.
It is. One with our funding, one with our attention.
One with our non-compliance, because nobody rules if nobody obeys. They need our obedience. That's why they struggle to make examples out of people. And to me, you know, it's all, what it comes down to is Marxism, neo-Marxism. It's, you know, it's the woke, gay, communist, globalist,
yes, yes,
political ruling class. And they need to be engaged and destroyed at every level.
At every level. And he doesn't even watch my show like that. So, like, just so you know, like, I'm not getting this from him and he's not getting this from me. Like, this is literally like everyday Americans watching the first conversation we ever had. I was running for Congress. And do you want to tell them about our conversation? Or what you can remember of it?
Which conversation?
When we first talked on the phone when I was running for Congress, you called me to feel me out, to see if I passed the establishment test.
Kind of interested in seeing if you wanted to burn it down and see it burn down the way that I did. And it was pretty clear that we're on the same page. I mean, to me, to simplify it, you know, they fucked with the wrong generation. And that's several of our generations, and we're coming for them. You know, they came for us. They came for our kids. Game on.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
We had the same, like...
blood in our eye.
Bloodlust.
Blood in our eye.
Because when you have a child that's bouncing around the world and you know they're going to be here without you one day, like, it changes, like, your priorities. And eventually that led me up to here. My family was running away from their political ties just to have me right back here. Isn't that so funny? It's so poetic. The brown one in the family. Like, this whole story, right? Everyone in my family trying to get away from politics, da-da-da-da-da. And here I am.
You may not be interested in politics, but politics is interested in you.
Apparently so. It won't let me go. And, you know, that's what happens when you put things to prayer, I guess, you know, because I was absolutely terrified to get back involved in politics. This is my way of doing it. And that's what we're going to do. So here we go. Let's pull up our feed. Let's see what's crawling the internet today. Can you see it okay from there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. So it says breaking. The U.S. government has unveiled the National Farm Security Action Plan banning CCP-linked farmland. Thank God. Fucking finally. Do you know how much of Florida has been bought by the Chinese Communist Party? How much land has been bought by the Chinese Communist Party?
What could go wrong?
60%, I think it was, of homes have been bought here by corporate entities. So 40% or 60% of people are renting their homes from the corporate industrial complex. And here we have something that I was talking about when I was running for office. China, why are they buying all of our fucking land? They have no right to own our fucking farmland. What are you doing? And why are you circumventing everyone? Before we bought this house, I saw 3 homes that were owned by Chinese, all with land. Every single one of them owned by Chinese people.
This is, it's called 5th generation warfare.
But this wasn't even like Chinese people that lived in it.
Right. Well, 5th generation warfare is multi-spectrum warfare. The Chinese, the CCP, has been committed to that for the last 30 years. And one element of it is 5th column activities within the target country, in this case, the U.S. And, you know, let's face it, defarming is a feature of the woke gay communism in Europe and in the U.S. because you need to depopulate those countries, and the best way to depopulate any system is to starve it of nourishment.
And I've told my listeners several times, you can't make more land. That's the ultimate. Like, you need to be a land, buy a piece of land that is yours. It's your piece of earth. It's yours. You can't make more of it. Like, to me, that's one of the most high value things. All right, let's get into our first video.
Today,
oh wait, should I give them the menu? Guys, I didn't give you my menu. I'm so bad about this. Lately, I've gotten bad. Here's coming up for you. National Farm Security Act. Is Erica a fraud? Puppy abortion ban. Candace talks to Russell. Tim Pool shot at. Israel is pissing me off.
Again?
Quetzalcoatlus are scary. And last but not least, certainly not least, I trust my wife.
Today, we are taking this purpose and our American farmland back. American agriculture is not just about feeding our families, but about protecting our nation and standing up to foreign adversaries who are buying our farmland, stealing our research, and creating dangerous vulnerabilities in the very systems that sustain us. Reshoring and nearshoring our food and agriculture supply chain is essential for our nation's security. In coordination with the White House, the Departments of Treasury, Defense, Homeland Security, and Justice, as well as state governors, state agriculture commissioners, local, tribal, and territorial governments, today we announced the USDA's National Farm Security Action Plan. This plan includes 7 key action items, and there's a lot of people here that I want you to hear from, so I'm not going to go one by one, but just very quickly. It's on our website. The press has gotten a preview of it, and we can ask some questions once we finish the main program. But very quickly, and perhaps the most important, the first of the 7 is securing and protecting American farmland ownership. Actively engaging at every level of government to take swift legislative and executive action to ban the purchase of American farmland by Chinese nationals.
But what about the purchases that already happened? Are you going to take it from them? I fucking hope so.
And other foreign adversaries. Standing on the shoulders of great governors, 3 of whom are standing behind me.
If you can do that to the people in the mountains in the Appalachia after Helene and fucking BlackRock, if you can go around and fucking steal all their fucking land, why don't you go steal it from the fucking Chinese? I could support that, BlackRock. How about that? How about you go do that? How about you actually... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, you can't... Oh, BlackRock, CCP. Basically fucking same goddamn thing.
Who have already been leading the way on this issue, and at the federal government level, working to do everything within our ability, including presidential authorities, to claw back what has already been purchased by China and other foreign adversaries.
Shit hard.
Now all you have to do is stop BlackRock from buying up residential properties and outbidding new homeowners and the working middle class who are suffering a rental epidemic because they can't afford to compete with these REITs.
We watched it happen here in Florida when we were trying to buy this house. I mean, the amount of people trying to, the bidding wars and
criminal.
Yeah, it's. I do not want a freaking brand new house.
This is why home ownership is unreachable to so many of the young, in part because of these foreign
mortgages.
Foreigners coming in to buy them up. These REITs, the BlackRocks of the world.
I'm just shocked we're at the point of 50-year mortgages. Like, what? It was 15 or 30.
It's the financialization of everything, and this is just like we started out with gold pieces, then silver coin, then copper. They're doing away with the copper. It'll be aluminum coins soon. This is the debasement of the dollar, and it's ultimately a form of inflation that's putting home ownership beyond the average person.
Backwater says, try being an American and go buy land in China. See what happens. Don't worry. I'll wait. Exactly. Y'all keep sticking with me. We're going to get to the end of the show soon, and then I'm going to announce who the fan of the day, fan of the show is. Stay right here, and I'm going to learn. All right, let's go to the next video. This one,
he kind of looks like alfalfa there.
is Erica a fraud?
A lot of things that don't make sense with Erica Kirk. She's not your average girl next door. She came from money. Erica's parents worked for the
I verified this.
Department of Defense.
She was getting involved with the government, so Homeland Security and Department of Defense.
Her grandfather was knighted by the King of Sweden. Erica also
Have you ever noticed how every time Erica Kirk's on camera, especially talking about all this, well, yeah, because she says it doesn't mean she's all over the place now. You ever notice how like she has the absolute perfect, most flawless answer all the time, and then when she's supposed to be emotional, she whispers and looks away, and she can't look at you, and she has to whisper back. And Charlie said, and he said, it was so touching. It's like a fucking script.
also ran a nonprofit called Romanian Angels, which was accused of child trafficking. What
I did the research on this. This also checks out.
are you doing in Romania? Also, she was an actress in a music video and in the reality TV show Summer House. Plus, she was Miss Arizona in 2012, under Trump's pageant. So wait, you got Trump that's owned by Israel, Trump's team that arranged the interview between Erica and Charlie when they first met. You got Charlie that was starting to raise questions about Israel's influence on American politics. You have the youth of America that looked up to Charlie, and then you have Erica who inherits his work and is now expanding it, completely ignoring the Israel question that Charlie was raising. Turning Point USA is perfectly
Because remember, I showed you the video. Where is her family tied to?
organized to brainwash the youth. So watch what they push and watch who benefits, because the official story doesn't add up.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. And also, have you seen Turning Point's podcast numbers? They're fucking tanking. Because we all know something's wrong. We all know you know something's wrong. Also, Miss Erica, it's not wise after that to just immediately take the CEO position. You need to wait and see how things shake out, because you have to answer for a lot of stuff coming up. And I hope you can answer in a way that makes us feel like you are the woman that we want to believe you are. But I'm losing a little bit of hope, because the evidence I'm finding on you, it's not looking too great.
Do I have
Go
to?
ahead. You can. Yeah.
I'm gonna weigh in. I just have to disagree. That video, I didn't hear anything. I mean, I heard some innuendo.
It is innuendo.
I didn't hear anything that would constitute proof
because
of
I'm
any
playing a video that
not you, but I'm
Yeah.
saying like the narrator is strongly implying nefarious, intentions on her part.
Mhm,
but I
he
don't
is.
think,
You're right, he
I don't
is.
think she pulled the trigger. I think
no,
she
nobody
is
thinks that.
downstream of a tragedy, and she is a grieving widow. And
No,
so
we're not disputing she's a grieving widow. We're not disputing she's downstream of a tragedy. We're not disputing any of that shit. What we are disputing is, one, her origin story. Number two, her behavior since then. And I'm showing a video that doesn't go deep because we already went into that with my viewers. So they already are, they're just going off of what we've already done research on. I'll say this. I was perfectly on her side until I decided to do the research. I'm not saying that I have a side. What I'm saying is I'm not on her side. I am at a point where I have questions that I want answered. I don't think she did it. I know who did it at this point because we've been watching Candace. I think it's beyond Trump or beyond Erica and beyond Charlie even. I think it's beyond names, because what I think's happening is the protection of an establishment that the NWO cannot have disrupted, and Charlie was a huge disruptor for that. And when they made the offer to him in the Hamptons there's certain videos you gotta watch that will automatically make you start to wonder, like, but Erica, you're his wife. So we need answers to certain things.
So I might watch those videos and have an issue, but this video, if someone says, "Hey, this lady was in a beauty pageant. Hey, this lady ran a charity. Hey, this lady
it wasn't a beauty pageant. It was Trump's beauty pageant."
Right. But I mean, there's no crime like that. There were a lot of women in there who were in that
Correct,
beauty pageant,
but they didn't win.
But it didn't make them.
It doesn't at that time.
Right.
But later, as you follow all the things that start to add up, this is called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence doesn't prove something. It makes you want to investigate further. So because of the reason why the pageant thing is a thing is because we have seen the bigger picture in terms of Trump and Israel. So that's why that's coming into play. Not her choice to be in the pageant.
She's related to people who were in the defense industry. Like I didn't hear.
No, she's not related to them.
Well,
her mother was part of the U.S.
Right.
and she has Israeli ties to Mossad. So there's a whole bunch that's in this video. Hold on. You have to let me talk.
Okay.
Okay. Because there's a whole bunch that you don't have in context here. That a lot of people like you want to immediately reject because it's TPUSA. It's Charlie Kirk's wife. They want to immediately reject it because.
Reject what?
Just that anything might be off.
No, I'm saying it's not off to be in a beauty pageant. We're
not saying that that's off in and of itself. That's the way you're presenting it.
I'm saying there's nothing off about being in a beauty pageant.
The way you're presenting it.
Okay.
But you're not taking into consideration the whole entire picture that we're presenting. So you're just going, someone in a beauty pageant's not implicated. No, it's not. Hold on. Let me get through my entire thought.
Sorry.
Because I don't want, if you're going to ever get to where I'm at, you have to let me get through the whole entire picture before you start interjecting, because we all had those interjections.
Right.
We all had those thoughts. Nobody wanted to feel this way about Erica Kirk. Nobody. It's just so obvious that something is going on. And then you have to take, this video is a 10-second video that gives you barely any context. I'm showing my viewers this. You got to realize these viewers have been with me for weeks upon end. So we are deep in our research. So the Mossad tie, you can't write that off. You cannot write that off.
What is it?
Her family is Mossad.
Her family
is Mossad.
What about her? I had a cousin who I had uncles in the CIA, but I don't have anything to do with them. I'd like
she
to
was
see
in the
them
IDF.
I'm sorry?
She was in the IDF.
Yeah, the Army.
She's a dual citizen.
Okay.
They called Charlie, made him an offer in the Hamptons to give him $150 million, their entire year's salary, Bibi Netanyahu.
Yeah, that's sketchy.
Exactly. So you have to tie in all of the things. Where did she come from? Why is she married to Charlie? Who introduced them? Trump introduced them. Some people with Trump introduced them. Why is she with Charlie? Okay. So where did you come from? IDF, Homeland Defense on the U.S. side. All right. In this Charlie Kirk assassination story, we're now seeing how the U.S., France, and Israel is all involved in killing him after this move to get him to start being friendly with the Israel. Can you?
I think that's credible. That's credible.
I can't think of I'm so bad with names, which is what doesn't help me on debates and stuff like that, because I need to fucking.
And we're not debating anyway.
Well, I just am so bad with nouns, like the nouns of things. But so there's that tie, and then with Trump in the pageant. Okay, I wrote, I was like, whatever, at first with that. I was like, I don't even want to hear that. Now, when I started diving into Trump and Israel and what's going on with Trump and Bibi is when that started having more credibility with me, especially when it comes to the fact that I know that literally everyone has a handler. They always give you a handler close to you that never tells you they're a handler. They're just close to you. They have to monitor you, and Israel's always tied to this. We see it all through Hollywood.
It's like Total Recall. Remember that? Sharon Stone was the wife, but she was also an agent.
Exactly that. Yeah. So Kanye talked about that. Matthew Perry.
I'm not saying I buy that, but that's
well, all the people who talked
analogy.
about it are dead except for Kanye.
Yeah.
Everyone who tried to come out about this, they made him go crazy. like Lindsay Lohan, Britney
Sure.
Spears. They like, and then so with Charlie, what I'm realizing is if you don't fall in line, you're a dead man walking.
Oh yeah.
You're a dead man walking. And when you have political, if it's really a spiritual battle, all this is really spiritual, and you think about what's at stake, of course they're going to send people. Kim Kardashian was Kanye West's direct handler, and they convinced her because he was going on and on about how in love he was with her before even meeting her. It was such an easy thing. Do this, you need to go marry him. Da 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 da. He's exposing too much. Blah blah blah. She literally, he would in Kanye when he tried to expose her. Look what happened. I don't know if you know about everything that happened with Kanye
A little
West.
bit.
Okay,
Yeah, I know something about
so
it.
like they try to do so it's either they make you fucking go mentally freaking insane or make you look like it, or they freaking kill you. So as the forensic psychologist that I am, before all of this popped off, the moment that Charlie died and I knew he was assassinated, the one thing I know forensically is when there's a murder for hire, the people closest to the victim supply the hitman with the person's access. It's always the people closest to him. So I don't think Erica was involved with it that closely. I think she stood some things to gain being with her ties and everything she's involved with. However, I think it could be a huge plan that was started a long time ago that she signed up for, alternatively. However, who I think betrayed him directly was not her. I think it was Andrew Colvette. I think it was that dude with the glasses, the little round glasses. He's got a bald head. He's a white guy. He's like real legal. He's like real analytical. I can't remember his name. But basically the people closest to him at Turning Point USA. Because it's very clear to me, looking into their taxes, looking into just the company that they got raided. You know what corporate raiders are, right? So something similar to that.
Mm-hmm.
After this offer with BB in Israel and paying your dues and putting a hand on the wall, and why does Israel have such a fucking hard on to convert Christians to supporting Israel? I'm sorry, I'm a Christian. You'll never get my support. You murdered my guy. You betrayed Jesus Christ, my Savior. I'm sorry, Israel. But I'm not going to look away from that. And you guys have been fucking manipulating us since then. You've been crying everywhere you go. You've been kicked out of 109 countries. You believe that it's okay to commit all these crimes on anybody who's not a Jew because we're just a goyim and we're equal to beasts. So when I look at the whole picture, I'm not writing her off. And what I'm showing everybody is I'm not the only one that's going, this is weird, this is weird. This is weird, but we're also like weeks deep into an investigation this point.
I just would need to see a lot more evidence to conclude anything.
My best suggestion for that, if you want to go to a one-stop shop,
Candace,
you got to.
Yeah, I know she's on a lot of things.
You got to go to the earliest live she had after Charlie's death, and start there. They're 1 hour long, and just
I know there's a lot of smoke there. But before I point at the widow, I would have to see strong evidence, not just circumstantial.
That's what brought me there. It was the thing.
Yeah.
It brought me there. I didn't want to think that because I lost a son in my arms. Like, I know what it's like to lose, like your immediate people in your immediate.
Yeah, and sorry, I didn't mean to sidetrack everything.
No, it's fine. It's just it's cool because this is like the real life kind of thing. Because if you want people to wake up, of course they're gonna reject. I was in a cult. I've watched this. Like, I've watched people go, no, I can't hear this. Like, I get it. Like, it doesn't match what we knew to be true before. So it's like you don't want to believe that like the America or Erica or whoever, like whatever belief system that we're talking about. There's a certain dissonance that occurs to protect you. It's a natural thing that happens. So I'm already weeks down into the thing. So that's why I'm saying you really got to look at Candace because she's so good at being non-emotional and like really cutting the emotions out and going sift. She has gone through everything. I can't even get that detailed. I can't even understand how she's that detailed. She knows every person in every video that exists on Charlie. You know what I'm saying? Because that was her best friend. That was her best friend outside of her husband.
I just never want to lose that skepticism, of everybody.
Ironically, the skepticism is what made me start seeing it.
Yeah.
Because a woman, I didn't want to believe that about Erica. But it's just, I don't think she would come up with the idea, but I can't write it off that looking at her independently from Charlie, she clearly was after something. There was a trajectory in her life. She was looking for recognition, be it fame, whatever you want to call it. She's so overly poised. It disturbs me. It's unreal. It's unreal. It's unreal. You're not on stage. We're looking for authenticity, not Miss America.
I've seen videos of them together, and they looked like they were in love.
Did you know she didn't know how many years they were married before that he died? She couldn't remember how long they were married. A woman couldn't remember you were married for 4 years. Only 4. She couldn't even remember her dates. And she tried to explain that on the spot because she knew how bad it looked. She was like, oh, I just get confused because, the babies were born so close together and us being married. Bitch, shut the fuck up. Ain't no woman ever forget how long they're fucking married.
I think she deserves some slack because of what she's gone through.
I think she's getting all the slack because we have Tyler Robinson sitting in jail who's clearly a patsy. All of them have slack. Everyone who's closest to Charlie needs to be investigated. No discrimination. All of them.
Well, and including the FBI, right?
Including Cash motherfucking Patel, who I'm having a huge problem with.
Our pal.
Because it's so obvious to me what happened to Charlie based on everything that Candace has. And I've watched it all. The naysayers against Candace. And they're all saying the same script. That's a psyop. They're all saying the same thing in the same weeks, in the same days. And I'm like, no, that means she's definitely onto it. And she hasn't made any accusations against Erica. However, she has questions for Erica. Mm-hmm. She definitely wants answered. And I find it to be really odd because if I'm Ryan's wife, say, and he's got a girlfriend that's his best friend, I would want to be talking to her, doing this whole investigation. She hasn't told Candace to stop. She hasn't told Candace to keep going. She's not saying anything. I would be very, either aggravated or encouraged. I'd be like, you need to shut up or you need to stop. And you're just not doing anything.
But she doesn't have to jade either, right? She doesn't have
I don't think any of that's going to come into play with these people.
But she doesn't have to justify
They're not
anything
in that stratosphere.
To the critics. I mean, she's a widow.
Well, but everyone else who's got something to hide does the same thing. So it's like, it can't really go off of that. I mean, I don't think she's hiding anything. I think that TPUSA is an empire that is relying on our ignorance. That is what I think. And that's what I think.
They played a big role in the election.
I think that...
And a positive one.
They did not want to lose out on the money that Charlie wanted to not take because he wasn't going...
Big money.
He wasn't going to sacrifice his principles.
Yeah.
And I think that at the end of the day, this TP faith branch was the downfall of them. If he had kept it the way it originally was and not brought in this faith branch, Israel wouldn't want their claws all over the church. And I really feel like that was the downfall. Because Israel is something we are just waking up to. We are just waking up to.
Yeah, they were good during the Cold War, kind of like NATO, but now,
it's getting real. Yeah, they're not good guys.
That's the midget with the big mouth that keeps getting you into fights every time you go out. Basically,
exactly.
No offense to other
it's not an ethnicity
people.
thing. It's not an ethnicity thing. We're talking about the nation and the politics and the Zionists.
100%.
And no one on this planet is at fault for their ethnicity, but you are at fault for the choices you make. And if you want to believe in Zionism, that's on you, but you cannot the force feeding of it down American throats. We're Christians
It's
over
just not
here.
even our
we
business.
Are Christians.
It's not our thing, you know.
We're Christians, though. Like, this is the thing. They worship Yahweh. We are Christians, and they murdered Jesus. Like, and nothing has been the same since. Nothing's been the same
A
since.
couple of millennia ago. So, you know, gotta
2000.
gotta let it go.
No, well, they won't let slavery go. Why I gotta let that go? Why I gotta let what Jesus
Because
did?
we don't, and because I would say we don't believe in collective guilt in America.
That's not the
It's
point.
wrong when the left does it.
I
It's wrong when
fight
anybody
against
does it.
collective hypocrisy.
But collective guilt,
Not talking about collective guilt. Talking about collective hypocrisy. You guys need to stop trying to fucking tell me that I need to protect you for what? For what?
oh, I'm with you.
For what?
Yeah.
And
No more empire.
it's me being petty. It's me being like, you know what? The cherry on top is the fact that I'm a Christian and you're trying to shove down my throat that you're the chosen race. Excuse me, you murdered my savior. Your Talmud that I am reading every week literally says that I am a beast and I should be murdered for reading the Talmud. Literally says
That can't be good for sales.
Yeah, it literally says that anyone who's not a Jew, you can have, as a man, you can have, if you're a Jew, you can have sex with her if she's 3.
But it was written
3 and
when?
up. Don't care. This is what they still use. They still use
Because,
it.
you know, there's bad stuff in
And the
Old
Bible was written.
Testament,
And the
in
Bible was
Quran,
written. Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that modern practitioners
You can use the
practice that.
same argument for the Bible.
I am using it.
And yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
But, like,
is
you can't judge people by the
I'm not
the historical
judging the
not
government.
you per se, but
the
you know what I mean.
Israeli government that has
Yeah.
been involved in the spiritual battle that the Bible talks about since the Bible was written. It's what this is.
You
That's
know
what
the-
all of this is.
You know, the Galil is an amazing battle rifle, right?
The what?
The Galil. I had a
Like Galilee?
I had a crush on that since the 1980s. No, it was designed by Israel Galil. It was the best Kalashnikov.
Ooh, they don't like what
Gas
you said
action.
about letting that go about Jesus. I'm just telling you the comments in your chat.
It's
in your
okay,
chat.
but like, there's no Americans don't believe in collective guilt.
No, we don't.
Look at the Constitution. Look at the Bill of Rights. If you love
I
the
don't
principles that founded America, you reject collective guilt.
Absolutely.
You're all over individual guilt, but you don't collectively blame people. That's, to me, un-American.
It's the only way. It is un-American. The tactic that they're using on us is not American.
Oh, you don't have to.
They think that we should collectively support them
That's
because
what
of
the
their
left
birthright.
Does. The left does collective guilt, but Americans,
Yeah.
freedom-loving Americans, we fight that in any form.
Of course. But that's why I was saying that's just the cherry on top card, because they keep playing the card of like the religious card. So it's like, all right, here's my religious card.
And I wouldn't,
Like-
and like, you know, the modern state of Israel, I wouldn't conflate that with other iterations of Jewish ethnic states. It's the modern state of Israel, which has become.
Oh, no, there's absolutely nothing about traditional Jewish belief system that I will support ever.
Right, but
Absolutely,
it's fair
I know.
enough. Like, I'm probably that way about Shiite Islam or
Definitely.
Islamists, but like, I don't know. It's just.
I have nothing wrong. Like, do you. My problem is, what is Israel doing interfering with anything over here?
But they're not monolithic either, right? That's their government. That's their intelligence agency. And to be fair, there's plenty of fuckery with the CIA and MI6. Like, we have our.
That doesn't justify anything.
No. But we have our fuckers too. Like, we live in a big glass house.
And all of
A
our
bigger one,
fuckers in
maybe.
the CIA, guess what last names they have? Jewish last names. It's like literally,
I
dude,
was related to a number of them, and they were not Jewish.
I'm not talking about simply being related to, like, no, you're missing my point. My point is that a lot of these 3-letter agencies are compromised by people with dual citizenship to here in Israel.
Sure.
That's the
not
problem.
Just Israel,
It's
by the
not,
way.
but that's what we're talking about right now.
Right.
So, it's, you shouldn't be serving our country if you have a citizenship in another one.
Yeah.
I don't think that's good.
That's
in
an open question, because we've had that since ever. I don't know. I don't
don't
need to
think-
look into that.
I think you should be natural born here, and you shouldn't have dual citizenship if you want to serve in any level of government, period. Because it's interest. There's interest. Okay, next video. Puppy abortion ban. Watch this shit.
week before the puppy is born, they're literally ripping apart the puppy in the mother's womb, limb by limb, suctioning out the brain of the puppy. That they should protect all puppies even starting in the womb, you know what I mean? Yeah. They're actually doing the same exact thing to human beings. Actually, what they're doing is, this was the abortion center in DC. That was a Harriet right there. She was actually 30 weeks old. So just like with puppies, they're actually taking human beings. They're ripping them apart in the womb. So there's just a petition to sign for saving babies as well.
Yeah, I'm okay with this, thank you.
You're okay with, you mean you're not signing it for the babies?
Just puppies.
Just the puppies today, thank you.
Are babies less important than puppies?
Puppies are cuter.
Brilliant.
Puppies are cuter. This is where we are in culture. This is not just sensationalist. People actually think this way. We can recognize the atrocity of killing puppies in the womb and not the atrocity of killing humans.
It's brilliant.
In the womb. We need to repent. You need to.
Oh yeah, repent is the key word. Like on a mass scale, like you have like America has their priorities that fucked up, that you don't value the sanctity of human life, but you're okay if it has fur on it. If it's furry and cute, you that bothers you more.
That's a Rorschach test that he just administered. That was a masterclass that we just saw there.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
I'll just say, like, that's the human mind, right? And the cognitive dissonance, because it's like when somebody is slow in front of you in traffic and you get mad, but if it was an ambulance, you wouldn't feel that way.
True.
It's the perceptual bias. That was amazing.
Yeah, it was. It was good. It was really good. All right, Candace talks to Russell. Is this Russell Brand? Okay.
I think the mistake they made, and I've said on my podcast, she should have never become the CEO and chairman overnight. Because now, when people have questions, you got to answer them, right? Now you're not just a grieving widow, which there has to be respectability for and space and allowing her to be a mother. But you very quickly decided that you were equipped to be Charlie. Well, guess what?
I would want to let some things breathe. I would be like, what the fuck just happened? My husband just got assassinated. I need to know what you were doing. You were with him. I would be like her. I would be acting like Candace.
It's going to be a trial by fire, okay? Charlie had to go through it. It's painful. The public's going to go through every layer of your life. They're going to be like, and so it's people go, it's not fair. You can't do what we call this is the post-school shooting thing, which is like a school shooting is such a tragic event. And then suddenly they're like, you have to listen to David Hogg and you can't question David Hogg. It's like, but I got effing questions for David Hogg, right? If you're now going to say that I have to accept him as a political leader, I'm sorry this tragedy happened to you, it's fair for me to say, David Hogg, I have, why are you on CNN? And I think that's happening. And so people are feeling like, hey, it's not fair to ask her any questions because her husband just died. Okay, but they should have put in place an interim CEO.
Because if it was any one of us, the police.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, the police would be asking us questions. I mean, the police wouldn't care about you grieving. They wouldn't care. You know what I'm saying?
You would just say for a couple of months, we got to figure things out. The COO is going to become the CEO. And give everybody time to grieve and kind of address the fact that this is like a new company and like we've got to figure things out without the head of the company, So I think they made a managerial error. All is fair and love.
Because whatever's going on at TPUSA, she probably doesn't even know about how deep that is. I know for a fact in my soul that those people betrayed Charlie. And she doesn't have any clue what could be getting involved with, what's going on. Or she could be feeling like the support. You know how people love bombing. That's what word I was looking for earlier. The people at TPUSA love bombing her so much and crowding around her. They could be completely gaslighting her or brainwashing her, making her look a different way. What I think is that something is up. And she needs to be like, this isn't helping here, that you look like this. You need to be asking the questions that his best friend is asking. And you need to be doing it as a team because we all, as America, there's a reason why Candace's show is now #1 and surpassed Joe Rogan.
She's killing it.
Because we all know something's wrong. We're lied to. We didn't buy that FBI narrative. And Erica, please ask the questions that Candace, why are you not asking them? That's my issue. And she's trying, I admire Candace for trying she's being so valiant with how she's saying it. But she's not. How I say it between me and you. That's what she's thinking and feeling. But she's doing a good job of being.
She's a diplomat.
Yeah, she's doing good at being, because at least if Candace was in her ear, Candace probably would have said, "Don't accept it just yet. Let's let some things breathe. Let's figure out what is actually going on."
That would be prudent,
right? And you would have gave me the same the same advice. You would have been like, because remember what you told me, don't get over it too quickly. Let's let this settle. Let's let the dust calm down a little bit. We got to see clearly here, because an assassination is not just a murder.
Right.
This is a orchestrated thing by a machine that is way big and ancient. Ancient. Did you know that the FBI was established by the French here as a trade for helping us gain our sovereignty from England? The FBI was established by the French, the Dupont.
That would be news to me.
The Dupont family.
I thought it was established in the 20s in response to
the Dupont
bootleggers.
Nope. The Dupont family, directly relative to Napoleon Bonaparte, who was the grandfather of the guy who started the FBI. Wilmington, Delaware, is where there are a lot of FBI undercover residences, which is tied to the day Charlie was assassinated. There were planes in the air going. You got to watch our show.
The DuPonts, I think they were gunpowder makers, like early on, and then
you're getting
morphed
close.
into DuPont Chemical.
And you know what? They're bigger. We all recognize it as the DuPont. We recognize, paint, this, that, and the other. You know what their biggest market is?
Chemicals.
Biochemical warfare. They sell biochemical warfare. Guess who owns a bunch? Guess who's involved with Raytheon? Erica Kirk's family. This thing it's a thing. It's a thing. It's a thing to the point. It's a thing to the point where Kash Patel now has had to go on camera being confronted by other journalists way bigger than her who are trying to give her, because everyone's coming down on her. They believe her and they're trying to give her a voice through them. Directly ask Kash Patel, like, why are you fucking not doing anything about it? You know what, you got to see Kash Patel's response. You got to see his response.
Yeah, I call him a pod person. He went in, one of us, and as soon as he got in, the aliens replaced him in a pod with Chris Ray from India.
You should see what he said when directly asked about the credible threat by the French paid already to assassinate Candace.
Yeah. If the FBI, you know how to tell if they're lying, of course, their lips are moving.
In fact, if you want to come binge a day and sit for 8 hours and watch them all and just popcorn and fucking eat, I'll fucking take you down the damn rabbit hole. But we're not going to talk about it. We're going to watch everything, then talk about it.
Deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's my heart. Because remember when after Charlie died, we got on the phone. We were like, let's do a TPD. I said, my heart, it's so obvious. Mark, my heart is shattered. Shattered. But I'm not shocked. You know why? Of course. Because money is literally everything. 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 So it's their God.
Well, you'll know if the 150 million comes through now to TPUSA.
I can't wait to show you what I've seen. I can't wait. You're going to be like, remember the day we talked for the first time?
First ever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that level. It's like, what the fuck? What? Candace Owens is good. Literally should be the next president. She's literally going to be the person to bring the physical, freaking tangible evidence to the table that the rest of us who woke up way before her, she's waking up in real time to the stuff we already know. Most of us that have been waking up to the establishment, the new world order of the elites. She's waking up to this through Charlie Kirk's death in a hyper fast speed. And what she's putting together, she's literally going to be able to hand it all on a silver platter, what none of us were ever able to obtain because we weren't famous. We didn't have the access and the name recognition, because the snitches that are coming to her is why all this is happening. The snitches from TPUSA, the snitches from the FBI, the snitches from Egypt, the snitches from France, the snitches from Utah Valley. It's bad. And literally MAGA, because of Charlie Kirk's death, watching this evidence, you can see there's a different faction of MAGA forming, because why are you guys lying to us? Why are you lying to us? We're watching JFK right now, and we already knew the CIA did it. You already know we know, and you're doing it again. You're doing it again to our faces.
Everybody just needs to stay frosty because the truth is it's a hall of mirrors on purpose.
Bam.
It's all a distraction from the treason. It's all a distraction from the looting of our prosperity. And bottom line is the thief always burns the house down to destroy the evidence. And they're burning, whether it's World War III or Civil War, whatever they can kick off to hide the fact that when the music stops, they sold all the chairs. They don't want you to look at them and say, you sold all the chairs. That's what this is all about, in my humble opinion.
Oh, I agree. And I think they also try to make sure that, like, wherever the truth is, they make you want to not trust it. So it's like, who are they vilifying the most? Meg, Tucker.
They want a Tower of Babel is what they want.
All the people that they tell you are crazy, in my eyes, are the ones that are like literally telling the truth, and they're trying to convince me they're crazy. And I'm like, no, everything's hitting Tucker, Megyn Kelly, like that whole little group right there, Candace Owens. They want you to like fucking think, especially Candace. Candace is taking the brunt of it. They want you to think she's absolutely lost her ever-loving mind.
We need better psyops.
It's so right. That's what I said. We were talking, my last show last night, we talked about psyops. My whole monologue was about psyops.
They're just throwing gravel on the surface of the pond to create as many ripples as they can. Because after the last election, look at we had sort of unity, and now they're doing what they can to splinter it. It's transparent.
It is. That's kind of like the frustration I get when you're like, and I don't know why I always forget, you can't fucking shake people out of waking up. Like, you can't ever, they'll dig in further. When you try to force them to wake up, they're prepared for that because they told them that this was going to happen. So they dig in further, and you can't. You have to pray for them. That's the only thing that can wake people up is God. And I feel like God has blessed me at able to spot the contradictions and keep my mind free. But on that note, let's look at Tim Pool. Tim Pool got shot at. It's getting bad. I'm telling you, Tim Pool, they're trying to kill everybody right now. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, the left thinks they want the violence.
This is fucking
crazy.
Think they want it. Yeah, they're going after everybody.
We have breaking news. Someone drove up to Tim Pool's house and decided to open fire. We have to talk about this. It's crazy what's going on. And then also, for some reason, in the same vein, Tim Pool had some crazy things to say about me, and we'll talk about it. We'll bring up the tweet. This morning I woke up, and this is why I came here to do this breaking news. I'm at home with the family, but this is a bigger issue that we need to address here. Because I don't care if you like a person, you don't like a person. It is incredibly, irresponsible for people to go show up at somebody's house and decide to shoot it up, decide to confront them. It's insane to me. Now, Tim Pool wrote this on X just earlier today. He said, last night a vehicle approached our property and opened fire. No one was hurt. Our security team is reviewing the incident and will be relaying the report to appropriate authorities. This is the price we pay for speaking out against evil.
If that happened at your house or my house, the first question either of us would ask each other is, when are they being buried? When is their funeral?
That's right. I think my reaction would be, do you know how long I've been waiting for you?
Exactly. Exactly. I'll be like, today's the day you meet your maker, baby.
Trick or treat. It's called trick or treat.
Yes.
Ever since Charlie's passing, it's been a reality to me that our lives are in danger just for giving an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Just for saying this is true and that's a lie.
Yep.
Just for saying this is right and that is wrong. And Tim Pool has been swatted multiple times before. Mm-hmm. I was on his show when he got swatted the first time. And if you don't know what swatting is, it kind of stems back from when people playing games, video game
MTG
competitions.
got swatted.
You playing a guy at Fortnite or something. I don't know what the games are out now. But you're playing a guy on the internet and he whooping your butt. You call the police, do a fake incident at his place. They come blasting in, throw him on the ground. He loses the game. This is what they do when they are performing at what they call a swatting. And so Tim Pool on his show, one of the biggest podcasts in the country, they swatted him multiple times that time, and they swatted him several times after that.
While he was on the show.
It's incredible. Because to be honest, you can put me full screen. To be honest, we are
like me.
We're not executives in Fortune 500 companies, Fortune 50 companies. We shouldn't need security like this. We shouldn't have to be worried about somebody shooting up our place because we're giving an opinion on.
Don't you miss the 90s?
You know, I will say I do have a question. Somebody opened fire. Was the place shut up, or did somebody just discharge a firearm? I have not.
I don't know.
Like you know, I'm just
You're
being
watching.
I'm just being a healthy skeptic, right? But like,
That's a great question.
Did the door look like Swiss cheese? Because it wouldn't be. You know, it does happen where some rednecky person discharges a firearm in the air or the ground. I'm not saying that's what
I don't
happened.
think Tim Pool's in a rednecky area.
I understand. I'm just saying, like, it is. I would have preferred more details than
I mean,
open fire.
I'm pretty sure this person had the intention, even if it was one shot. Like, if you're shooting at my house, one shot.
If you're shooting at the house, but I'm saying, like, if I discharge a gun, I open fire, but it doesn't. I would just like more information. That's all. I get it.
Since you say that, I'm not necessarily a Tim Pool fan. I don't know much about Tim Pool to have an opinion on him. However, I know that he's tied to this Candace Owens thing because he's been one of the people going at Candace Owens. He hates her.
I hate lazy reports. Would it kill you to say brass was recovered, shots hit the...
Well, it's
No.
all about what information is available because celebrities get special treatment. Like, we know that. But the video's not done. And
Yeah, sorry.
yeah,
True.
it's okay. But I mean, I'm wondering the same thing because I'm watching this real time with you. Huh?
You know, throw us a bone. Like, give us the details.
I think a lot of times too, it's on us to go look it up because
I've looked into it and I've been pissed off that there wasn't more detail than that.
with the Tim Pool thing.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this is the first I'm hearing of it.
Okay.
I don't even know what I don't even know. Like, this is
It's
the
a
first
pet peeve, right? But don't tell me partials.
I don't mind it because I like to go on the hunt. Like, I like to find out because I like to find out if a journalist is credible. So I like to go on the hunt. And it also is just making me a better journalist by like forcing me to go on the hunt. And this is the first I'm seeing it. Because so just so you know, I react to videos. This is raw reaction.
Yeah, it
I
is.
haven't seen them. So
Online, an opinion. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. Tim Pool is not even that controversial. Tim Pool is kind of in the middle a little bit on a lot of stuff. Tim Pool will not take a strong stance, maybe recently against Candace, but he has not taken a strong stance this way or this way.
because I
feel
didn't know who he
interviewed
was
everybody.
before this.
Kind of.
And so I don't understand how a person like him would have to deal with stuff like this. But it's true, man. I get people saying,
I'm at more of a risk than Tim Pool. I am way more hardcore than him. I am like
Yeah, you are.
hardcore. Like, fuck everyone but Americans. Like,
Well, to be fair, it's the cowards, the communists, and the criminals. Other than them, you know, I'm good.
fair.
crazy stuff to be online all the time. Obviously, what happened to Charlie. You know me being personal friends with Candace. I know Candace have to have security 24 hours a day. And this is way before Candace became even more controversial lately. Had to have 24-hour security, even in foreign countries.
It's because she's black and she speaks the truth. She speaks against the narrative of the establishment. A black woman or a woman of color that like literally sounds free. Oh no, they're gonna come after you. You should have seen what they did to me when I ran for Congress. You should have seen what they did to me. It was like overkill. I was like 13 hours of nothing. You followed me for 13 hours to force this narrative that I was like, there was like nothing.
We were in France. Now we ain't never going to go back to France.
They tried to force a narrative that I slept with someone because I was in a 3-foot vicinity for more than an hour. Because I like, seriously. So could you imagine if my show gets even more? Like, could you imagine? They won't know what to do with me because like, apparently, you know.
It's called Don't Threaten Me with a Good Time.
Exactly. It's fun. Yeah, exactly.
And that should be every... Go ahead.
That should be all Americans. Like
all Americans.
Yes.
Attitude. People say, oh, I'm going to flee the country. No, I don't flee my country. You flee my country.
Right.
You communists, you flee the country. That's how it goes.
I agree. I was thinking about that the other day. just like fantasizing about moving. But then I was like, no, we have problems and we need me.
In France, we had to have security in France. We have breaking news.
You better have. How about you just don't go to France at this point?
Yeah, why are you going to France?
Don't go to France.
Don't go to countries that hate us and fund the deprivation of our liberty and censorship. Why are you spending your dollars in woke gay countries?
Sniper says Tim is arrogant, shows his unstable mind. Oh, I don't really know much about him. I need to do more research on this Tim Pool character. Is it Pool with an E?
I think so.
Israel is pissing me off. Next video.
Hey, what's up, America? The Anti-Semitism Awareness Act, or
Another
HR
one?
1007,
How many do we need?
passed the House
How
of
many do we need?
Representatives yesterday, and now it's headed to the Senate under Senate Bill 558 to be passed there as well. Well, what could be bad about the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act?
Oh boy.
Surely stopping anti-Semitism in any and all form is the way we should be going, right? Well, let's see what the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act has in it, and let's see what it does. So this says the U.S. must enforce anti-discrimination laws as vigorously against anti-Semitism as other forms of bias.
But like what? But like what other forms?
And there needs to be clear standards to distinguish protected speech from harassment.
Okay, I'm struggling.
They say that this bill will increase awareness of anti-Semitism without impairing free speech. So you know it's bullshit when they say that right there. Now, one of the core provisions
Because you
requires
literally can't tell the truth about Israel without being called an anti-Semite. Like, you can't say anything that's just negative about anything involving Israel without 17 people jumping on your profile and saying you're an anti-Semite.
Department of Education to adopt the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance working definition of anti-Semitism when enforcing Title VI specifically. And so apparently forms of discrimination.
This reminds me of like pure narcissism, like red zone, like you're constantly afraid of people being phobic of you, but you keep getting kicked out of countries. So like, you don't think maybe the common denominator might be you? Like, it's like deep mental illness. It's like watching someone with borderline personality disorder literally say everyone else is evil. Why does everyone keep saying I'm a bitch? And like, you can't come to the conclusion that there might be some of that's fucking you if everyone thinks you're a bitch. Like, you don't think you might want to go, let me think about myself for a minute. Maybe I should be a little like, maybe I need to examine myself and see if maybe everyone is right and I'm the only one that's wrong, or I'm the only one that's right and everyone else is wrong. Like, maybe I should do a little self-examination. If so many people don't like me, yeah, just everyone else is crazy. No, I'm just playing devil's advocate here, folks.
Are as follows: calling for or justifying harm on Jewish groups, using anti-Semitic stereotypes,
I think I need to run.
holding Jews collectively responsible for Israel's action, Holocaust denial, and applying.
But we're not, though, because if you listen to the words we're saying, I recognize that there is a Zionist takeover and a political terrorist movement within inside Israel that keeps going and fucking starting problems and then saying, hey, America, can we have money for this fight, for this little thing that's their fault, but we actually started it?
double standards to Israel not demanded of other nations. So it codifies a definition of anti-Semitism and allows for consequences if these are broken, including a loss of federal funding, including grants or loans for college students, if they find that you're engaged in anti-Semitic harassment, either in
So what'd they say about fascism?
public or online, and may include behavioral changes like remedial programs and training so that you won't be anti-Semitic.
Brainwash.
You can also be subject to internal university discipline, including suspension or expulsion if you engage in protesting. And of course, civil lawsuits for any person that's Jewish that feels like they were harassed, including civil damages or
I will fight for your right to protest against me. That's American.
injunctions. This could also lead to Department of Education complaints against schools, triggering audits or funding cuts. And it could lead to hate crime charges for universities if it goes unchecked. Now this goes into K through 12 schools, all colleges and universities, both public and private. And it impacts administrators, so that's one good part of it. Individuals accused of
How about we stop wasting our dollars in college? Run by the Rothschilds anyway.
Anti-Semitism via protests or statements in public or online face investigations if perceived as discriminatory. And of course, as you know, businesses can face fines or penalties for participating in boycotts of Israel.
Oh my God. What was the bill? Where's the description?
Up to $1 million in fines. Of course, 27 states have already adopted those measures before this. Now, so far, these focus on government contracts and investments and not private commerce yet. Now, Germany and France already have laws similar to this, but the United States went above and beyond in this case. And groups like Human Rights Watch and the ACLU are warning of First Amendment violations by coercion of speech, saying that you can't punish boycotts because it's protected speech. Our government argues on the other end of that. So that passed. It'll probably pass in the Senate. Donald Trump will definitely sign it. And I'm sure it will be abused so bad you thought it was a fucking career. Hey, what's up, America? The Anti-Semitism Awareness Act, or HR.
I think he made a material misstatement, though.
HR 1077. There's another one. Let it play more.
1007 passed the House of Representatives yesterday, and now it's headed to the Senate under Senate Bill 558.
558. It better die in the damn Senate, but you know what? It ain't gonna happen because 90% of all of them are taking money from AIPAC. They're going to vote for this. This literally is killing your free speech, disguised as anti-Semitism. This is like one step further to mitigate. Look what they're doing in Britain. In Britain, they're getting arrested for memes. They're getting arrested for their opinions.
Harassment is already illegal. Discrimination is already unlawful. So it's just another unnecessary permutation. But I do think he said one thing that was wrong. He said you can face a fine for boycotting Israel. No.
Did you read the bill?
No, but there's no way that you can fine somebody for not spending their money somewhere.
I want to read the bill. We just got to read the bill.
I'll be fascinated because how can you fine somebody for refraining from something that's voluntary?
I agree.
Yeah.
Boycotting. Yeah. Like, so what they're saying is like a finsurrection of some sort.
Right. I think that's wrong. You'd have to show me that in the law. I think that's bullshit. I think I haven't looked at the bill. That one thing that he said, it sounds ridiculous.
I heard it in another bill that they are trying to make boycotting illegal.
How would you even identify that? You didn't spend your money somewhere. We're gonna fine you.
Here's the thing: you're in the space of logic, and what we're dealing with, okay, is not that. Logic is not one of the rules to this war.
Right.
Logic, they don't act on.
But evidence is.
They don't act on logic. We are thinking logically. They don't. They are moving. Think about this. This is just one puzzle piece to whatever their plan is later. It doesn't make sense to us because of all these things we're talking about, but we have no idea how it's going to come into play later. You know, this whole move, you see how they're doing everything.
The rest of it,
global socialism, global communism is what they're trying to do.
Sure.
Across the globe. So like your free speech, obviously in America, they're not going to be able to just give a blanket mandate. So they have to start in like, what'd you call it? Like a trickle.
Death of 1,000 cuts.
Yeah, like a slow drip, you know, where they just start moving with the morally things that everyone.
Slippery
it's like
slope.
Hold on, it's like the puppy video. It's like she was okay with banning the puppy abortions, but not the human abortions. And it's like that slow little trickle where they get you so fucked up mentally, you don't even know what's right and wrong anymore, you know. And so it's like. That's what I see this as. It's like one of those slow trickles towards shutting us the fuck up because we're waking up. But the thing is, the Bible foretold this. This isn't going to be successful. It will end in a mass cataclysm. It will end in the good and evil fighting physically at bloodshed. Like that's where it's going.
It is a bad precedent.
It's and everything, you know, what Britain does, it seems like 20 years later we're there.
You know, anti-Semitism is protected speech. You can be a Nazi. It's protected speech.
Yes. You're allowed to be a Nazi.
You can stand on the corner with a banana up your ass, and it's protected speech. So anything that impinges on free expression is, you know, kind of the enemy of freedom.
John Gotti said Hitler told you. So I've been learning German, and I've been going back to listening to Adolf Hitler before the Third Reich or all that shit was established, and it's really fucking interesting to hear what he was saying before history picks up and tells us all this stuff. I think Hitler got MK Ultra'd. I think he had really good plan for his country. I think he was loved. I think he was really on point with a lot of stuff that he said. And then he went batshit. And it's like, where did we see that before? Kanye, Lindsay Lohan, Britney Spears. It's like they've been doing this way longer than we thought because we didn't have the internet to instantly share each other information. They've been fucking doing this shit. I think they got him. And I'm not going to get too far into that right now on this show, but there's certain entities I think definitely targeted him and weaponized him and made him absolutely insane.
It's worth pointing out that he was a National Socialist.
He was.
And so if you want to say he's on the right, you know, the socialists are murder.
I didn't say that, though.
Not you, but I'm saying, like, it's worth pointing out. A National Socialist is still a socialist.
However, there are countries where it works for them. Why it works for them is not beyond me, but like it does. Like there are like some countries where everything is like fucking fine for them. And if that's how they want it, who am I to dispute their populace? If that's what they want and they're happy like that.
If you're Norway, it can work for
Gen
a while.
Z taught me a lot, Mark. There really are people that do want you to tell them what job they should have. That do want Japan, China. Like, it's an honor for them. This is my job and this is my job my whole life and I'm going to do this job perfectly and I'm going to be a master at this job because this is my role here in this society. Like, they really are, like, believing. And I could see in China, with that many people, because we know how overpopulated they are, how they could almost be forced to the socialist way they are living. Hold on. I'm not saying I agree with it. You know me. So don't do that. You know me. I'm saying if there's a group of people, I wasn't even meaning China. Actually, I was meaning some places in Europe. I'm not even going to call them out.
Like Norway, whatever.
Right. They like it and they're cool and they're happy and it's fine and it's syncopated and it's fucking homeostasis all day. I'm not here to fucking dispute you. But I can see a clear difference where he went from things that make more sense to absolutely batshit insane. Like, there is no one superior race. Like, what are you talking about? Why do you want this goal? Why is this what you're moving towards? What happened to you? What went crazy? Something happened, and I don't think it's Germany.
Well, he was gassed during the war, and he was.
Oh
in
yeah,
World
the
War,
cocktail that they were putting him on.
He was in the trenches in World War I and was under sustained artillery fire. Like he was a war hero, actually.
I was also reading his doctor's notes, and there is a certain set of medications that we know never to combine because it will completely fuck your brain up for the rest of your life, and there's no recovery. And his doctor was giving him this combination of medication that completely made it's a travesty. Honestly, I can't say my true opinions because I'll get fucking it's too much.
He was a one-ball man, right?
My first real boyfriend had one nut.
Yeah.
He had the nut.
I'm not talking shit. I'm just saying
it just didn't descend. Like his
factoid.
nut was up in his stomach, or in his groin. But I just know that there's clearly a entity that is in control of all the world governments, and it comes down to families. And then inside those families, who's the most powerful? And you can definitely see that there is something that clearly happened, and he was weaponized. And
no question about that.
Oh yeah. And I'm not saying that anything he did was okay. I'm not okay with any of that. It's just what I'm pointing to is we need to start realizing that this is Game of Thrones. We are pawns. We are chess pieces. We are little fucking things that they think they can move around on a board to their advantage. And we need to freaking wake up to that, because you can be a billionaire and that system will suck you in. They make the offer. Be with us or against us. If you're against us, we'll kill you or make you crazy and jail you. And it's literally, the Bible talks about it. The Bible talks about that.
It's all coming to an end, because the day that the world fully de-dollarizes, within a week, you'll see smoke on the horizon out your window.
And I can't wait for it.
The debt becomes
I'm ready
real.
for it. I'm excited for it. We need it. It's done. It's over. We're so deep in. If this is now, we're on principles. And fight for your principles. All right. What's the dinosaur word name?
Quetzalcoatlus.
Quetzalcoatlus are scary.
These are the terrifying reasons you could never survive a Quetzalcoatlus. First off, they were 3 times taller than you. They stood over 16 feet tall, the height of a giraffe, with a wingspan the size of a bus, 35 feet wide, being the largest animal to ever fly on Earth. But it gets more horrifying. They had 5 times better eyesight than humans, easily seeing tiny movements from miles away. And when they spotted you, they could jump up to 8 feet high, taking off from the ground alone. But when they flew, they wouldn't just flap their wings, mostly gliding instead, meaning that you wouldn't hear them coming. And even if you did have a chance to run, their bones are hollow, making them extremely fast, allowing them to reach up to 80 miles per hour when flying, impossible to outrun. But if you still somehow manage to escape under something nearby, you'd quickly figure out flying isn't the only thing they can do. Able to run on all 4s, but it gets worse once they find you, as they didn't have teeth. Instead, they would use their 8-foot-long razor-sharp beak to attack you, picking you out of your hiding spot and knocking you down with it. If you were small enough, they would just swallow you whole. But if you were larger, they couldn't eat too much at once, so they would constantly jab you and throw you around until smaller chunks of you tore off, swallowing you piece by piece. These are the terrifying reasons you could never survive a Quetzalcoatlus.
But also the length of their neck, you would kind of wonder how that works during flight. Did you see the length of the neck compared to the body?
And I'm a guy.
How is that flight conducive? Because you'd be having to lift your head a lot like this.
Might be for balance and...
the neck balance.
I'm thinking that thing was eating fish. I'm sorry.
I think that thing flew short distances. I don't think it soared.
Glider.
Yeah, because exactly, a glider, that squirrel,
like
whatever.
An albatross, basically. Wouldn't you think?
The neck is throwing it off for me. I can't see sustained flight with that neck because there's too much. You would have so much. And the wind, sustaining the wind with that long neck. I rode a motorcycle just at 45 miles an hour. That long ass neck, there's no way they're made for long flight. It's got to be short gliding, short flight distances.
The real question, and I guess they'll never know, but did it have lips like a chicken?
Grody. I don't want to think about anything with that raptor bird pecking you to fucking hell. Did you see that bird in Africa that like stomps you to death? It's got the really fat feet and it like stomps you.
Currently or in prehistory?
Yeah, no, now it's alive and it's
Ostrich?
like one of the it's like it's probably as high as the desk and it's like one of the strongest birds like per square inch or whatever, and it like literally just stomps its prey out.
I just know that I'm a neck man, so if the thing goes in the oven, I'm calling the neck.
I will save my turkey necks for you.
Turkey neck. It's the best
Now that I
part of
know.
the bird. And you have to steam it. Steam, don't spoil. Steam the neck.
We always boiled, but I mean, that's because the dogs were getting, like the other animals were getting. Do you know that my parents would feed their chickens the chicken meat? Like the neck bones and stuff. Like the stuff we couldn't eat, they'd feed it to the chickens. I'm like, the chickens are eating the chicken meat.
My uncle would get a Japanese beetle trap, and he would empty those beetles out, and the chickens would go crazy.
Chickens eat anything. They will eat anything.
That might be a prepper tip.
But yes. Okay, so chickens kept our yard so clean because they don't eat grass. We didn't have a fucking rock, a freaking stick, a bug. Our yard was beautiful with chickens.
They're a gateway drug to prepping.
Also, chickens make great pets, so don't get attached to your chickens if you are prepping with chickens, because there are really cool pets. And your roosters, if you got a good rooster is mean as shit, and you should be scared of it. If you're not scared of your rooster, it's not a good rooster. It'll fucking attack anything that comes up your driveway. I swear to you.
Remind me to tell you a chicken joke after the show. I don't think it's suitable.
Which is coming soon because we're at the last video. And the last video is, I trust my wife. No, he doesn't.
I trust my wife.
He lies. Can we do this? Can we do this?
3.
Why not? I think we should do it. Ready? He said, "Bah!" Okay, how many of you on Rumble or how many of you on Instagram want me to do this with Ryan?
Trust my daughter.
Ooh, he's hot.
Rip it off. Ow, son of a bitch. 2, 1.
He's on. Ooh.
3. I trust my wife.
Fuck!
I would hit it though. Like my aim is amazing. He said, "What? What?" See, she's smart. She held it like this.
I trust
she
my wife.
Controlled all that flappage. You don't want to do this? I think we should do it.
I'm sure you do.
What are you afraid of?
Getting hit in the face with a belt.
Really? Do you think I would hit him in the face?
I don't think it's
You've been shooting with me. Do you think I'd hit him in the face?
On the advice of counsel, I'm going to decline to answer any
This is
questions.
bullshit.
Yeah. I think you might inadvertently strike him, yes.
This is bullshit. This is utter bullshit.
Just to be safe, you should use the buckle. I think you'd have more accuracy.
Oh, daddy comes through. I cannot believe my husband. He sucks. It's like he doesn't even know me. He really thinks I'd hit him in the face with the belt. He's never paid attention to my aim in 12 years. So when you get hit in the face, just remember, I have really good aim.
Yeah.
That he said that's what he's getting at.
Either women really.
Oh, so you think I'm a bitch? Oh, you think I'm a bitch? You think I'm gonna hit you on purpose?
Even if you don't hit him, the sad part is
There's
he'll
no
never
way
really
out with
know.
this. There's no winning in this conversation with a woman right now. Like this conversation, you, me, woman, you're losing. No, you're losing.
Even
like,
if
so
you-
you think that I'm gonna hit you on purpose, and that's what you're afraid of? You really don't know my heart, and that I really was gonna try to like prove to you that I could like make this a win on camera.
I think you're gonna try really hard, and I will let you do it, and I will close my eyes.
He's gonna let me do it. Yes, you see that, folks? That's how we get what we want.
You heard it here first.
Yes. Okay. He said, okay, do you trust his aim? Hell no. I have beat him in every aim competition there is. Disney. Oh, do we really need to go down? Do we need to go down the list? The Simpsons ride at Disney. Where we were like, boop, boop. In Toy Story. Sorry, Toy Story. There wasn't a Toy Story one? Where you had to aim? Sorry, Men in Black. Look, I've never said I have a good memory. But what I have said is I have a good aim.
We should all just go out and take out some flock cameras and test our aim.
We should, though. It'd be good content.
Blade Runners.
Bro, like, he goes, please. Okay, we are going to do it, though. Mark's going to be MJ's going to be our camera guy. While I take a belt and slap right in the face. For everything you left in the yard all week.
Any possible transgressions will be atoned for.
No, but you already said you expect me to hit you. So now I'm just going to be like, this is for the dog bowls. Psh, this is for the broken fence. Psh, this is for my flat tire.
You might want to go with the silk belt. She's already giving excuses when she hits me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, no, of course. I'm saying I'm doing it on purpose. This is for all these things. This is for interrupting me 17
Alpha
times.
Move, though. Alpha
this
move.
is for bringing me Coke instead of Dr. Pepper.
Why would I let you do it then if you're telling me you're purposely going to hit me in the face?
Because I'm trying to give you an opportunity to put padding on or something. Like, I'm trying to be kind here. I'm trying to give you an opportunity.
Fashion therapy.
Yeah, to prepare.
Be kind, not hitting me in the face.
I do that every day. I don't hit you in the face. Like, I'm kind every day. Can't I have one day where I'm not kind and hit you in the face with a belt on purpose for a contest? Totally okay because it's for Instagram.
You can't fake that kind of restraint.
He said, I'll share the live with all my followers. He said, this is for the no mosquito net. Wow, this is how much my followers know me. He didn't make a mosquito net joke.
You have to stay on the feed, though, until the sheriff's department arrives.
Oh, yes. And then we got to interview the deputies.
I don't even know how the show's going all up at once. It's the stream's gone so long that OBS has restarted.
Oh, they're still commenting, but we're done anyway. We just got to the last video.
So they know in case it doesn't upload. OBS restarted. I've never seen it. It's got over 3 hours.
Everyone's fine. It's fine. All right. So, anyway, it's the last one anyway. We're just fucking joshing it. Do you want to hear my monologue? Do you want to hear all of you that didn't hear my opening monologue? You guys got to start coming on, start watching around 9, 10. Well, who am I fucking kidding? We're colored people. We're Cuban in this household. So if I say 9 o'clock, that probably means 11. Anyway, just be aware from the hours of 9 to 10. You know, I'm coming on. All right. I know some of you really love my monologues. So for all of you who haven't heard this one today, before I go, your lady is going to grace you with her knowledge. Sit down, grab a friend, make a cuddle puddle, whatever you want. America, lean in close, real close. Tonight, I had something to say. I said it about our government. I said it about our TV. And half the people we follow on Instagram who would absolutely prefer I never say these things. The world is changing fast. Faster than the media reports, faster than your politicians can lie, and definitely faster than the average American is prepared for. And you know what? I'm tired of pretending that everything's fine. When we all know the air, it feels different. Circa 2023. 2020. DC, circa J6. I'm tired of pretending that everything's fine when all we know is that the air feels different, the vibe feels different, the energy is ringing like a warning bell only the awake can hear. So welcome to tonight's show, and I hope you enjoyed yourself. I did show up. Was I looking cute? Did I look okay? My lashes were on, my hair was laid. Did I please? But don't get it twisted. This mouth, it's not just here to like tickle your ears. It also goes off like a siren. We like to dive into reacting to the chaos of the videos. We like to start, with this concept of waking people up. But tonight, we talked about survival. We talked about actual survival. The kind where we go into prepper mode, that level of survival. Because prepping, it used to be like, oh, the crazy people prepped. No, it's no longer like a crazy doomsday hobby. It's called being sane in a world that's totally lost its shit. You have a damn mind. You don't need to be paranoid. You don't need to be the tinfoil hat philosopher. You just need to look around. It's all real. We're totally validating you. When the grocery stores can't keep the basics in stock, when the bank system glitches like a shady ex, don't do digital ID. When the ex who didn't see your call. When all the politicians tell you everything is under control with the same face they tell you they swear they've never met Epstein, that's when you start buying canned food. That's when you start buying water filters. Like literally the whole thing is coming down. It's falling down. London's bridge is falling down. We are protecting our children. We are not going to give them the blood supply any longer. This is survival. It's not fear-based. It's empowerment. It's sovereignty. It's saying, if the world goes sideways, my family will not. So let me be cute, but honest for a second. If the lights went out tomorrow, half of America would be dead before their iPhone hit 10%. People don't even know how to boil water without Googling it. They don't even know how to store food. They don't know how to purify water. They don't know how to survive without DoorDash and vibes. Tonight in the first half of the show, we talked about prepping, what you actually need, what's a waste of money, what no one tells you until it's too late, and all the things you should be doing right now before the next unexpected crisis happens that somehow all the politicians expected. Isn't that funny? They always are prepared. You see how they're never uncomfortable during all those situations? Survival isn't just physical, it's psychological, it's emotional, it's spiritual. If you can't stay calm in the chaos, you become part of the chaos. So, in the second half of the show, we dove into videos. You already know. The videos we cover on this show are never simple. They never are oopsie daisy, look at what happened. No, they're always a window into the machinery behind the curtain. The propaganda, the hypocrisy, the quiet coordination that the public isn't meant to see. And you also know that this is where the fun starts, because if there's one thing I do best, it's watching a video, catching every lie, catching every tell, catching every little slip, every manipulative trick, maybe to the point where even they think I'm crazy, just like Candace. And then dragging it into the light where everyone can see. So tonight, after we talked about prepping our homes, what supplies we needed, what our mindset should be, we went into something more important: having discernment, having awareness, and most of all, having a spiritual radar. Because spiritual isn't just about storing food. It's about recognizing danger when it's dressed in a suit and smiling on camera. It's about seeing through the narratives, the edits, the agendas. It's about protecting your family, not just from disaster, but from deception. The world is loud. It's chaotic. It's unstable, but you don't have to be. Prepared people are always powerful people. Awake people are unmanipulable people. And informed people are totally impossible to control. So buckle up. Tonight, we prepped the body and the mind. the pantry and the intuition, the home and the soul. We talked about how to survive the storms they're not warning you about, and how to see through the storms they are creating. But either way, you know Mama's got you every night, every week. This Thirst Trap News. And with that, I love all of you so much, and I bid you adieu.